Testing, testing. There we go. Thank you. Sorted. Thank you very much for letting me know. You should be able to hear now, right? Yeah. How are we all doing today, guys? We all good? You all good? You all golden? Hope so. Faith on, Night Fox, Scott, Dino. How are we all today? I do apologize if you can hear my aircon running in the background, but it's very warm in here, so kind of have to. Kind of have to. Needs must, as they say. Hey, Luke, how you doing, buddy? Today's roster reviews are done through the power of interpretive dance. Doop, 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 doop. Had your dinner since we last spoke? Delicious. What did you have, Night Fox? Having some good luck getting the bulk level 3 on my Datacrons. Nicely done. Literally only missing it on one. I'm definitely missing it on more than one. I think I'm missing on about 3 or 4. But I've got a decent-ish amount of them. A decent-ish amount of them. Why has this not got my proper game up? Yeah, so I think like 3 or 4 of them, 2 or 3 of them, 3 of them maybe are missing. So we're doing okay, I suppose, as far as Datacrons are concerned. It's about the best I can say. It's about the best I can say about that. Need to go ahead and spend our regular energy. Booyah, getting 4 of these furnaces. Scott, don't bother putting your ally code in the chat, mate. That's not how we do it around here. We've got a Google form to fill out. I'll let you know when it's up and running. I only have 1 level 9. Getting a bunch of level 3s is the best route for you right now. That's fair, Faithon. Yeah, no, getting a bunch of the level 3s, getting the bulk cron is like... The thing about the bulk level 3 is that everybody benefits from it, right? Literally everybody. Every single team benefits from having that 15% additional health and protection. So, you can't go wrong with that, right? Hey, Tickle, how you doing, buddy? For 3v3, I definitely... Well, the pilot level 9 is much more valuable in terms of defensive viability and offensive viability, in my opinion. And especially in 3v3. Unfortunately, I only have the Slacker one. I got 3 Phasma ones. 3 Phasmas. Not one of them was a First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter pilot, unfortunately. Yeah, the pilot one, I think the pilot one is much better overall. This Slackercron one, this is fun to just blow something up, right? But it dies on its ass against JMK. Hey Zion, how you doing today, buddy? Boop. The review list will be completely fresh today, Tickle. It will be completely fresh today. You're going to unlock Queen Amidala and Bane sometime. At the same time. Oof. That's going to be painful, buddy. But Bane takes precedence for sure, Aldahan. Since you showed me there's a multi-slim option for Datacron nodes, now I'm swimming in the crons. That's the way, Lone Wanderer. Very nobody day. Oh, very good day. I was like, what? What? I'm not quite following the very nobody day. Hey, what's going on, One Pratt? How you doing today, buddy? You good? Have you had your chair yet, mate? Have you had your chair, and is it good? I hope so. I haven't tested out most of these crons, truth be told. I'm kind of tempted to test the Gungans against JMK Cat. Kind of tempted to test Gungans against this, just to see what happens with the Boss Nast Cron. Because I've not tried, I've not tested this at all. Let's find out. Autocorrect screws you a lot. That's fair. Am I a Brit or an Aussie? I am a Brit. Let's just do stuff and things. Boopity boopity boop. Cat can try and yeet someone and fail. Oh, she goes in against that. That's hilarious. Yep. Yep. Wow, that thing really does cycle quickly. That really cycles quickly. Yeah, JMK missing. I love it. Yeah, the attacking under protection is kind of neat. Big boomers. God, that cycles so quickly. Cycles very, very quickly. But all the tenacity up is kind of nasty. I can't see this doing much. Can't see this doing much, truth be told. Yeah, that Padmecron is just kind of annoying. Hey, Sathi, how you doing? Imagine missing a stationary target, I know, right? And more than once as well. That's so gonna die. Yeah, I can't ignore. Yeah, that goes. Now we just fall apart. I mean, it was worth trying. It's worth seeing. It's worth seeing. Oh, he's got the protection disruption one. I would have thought that would have been... oh, no, are we immune? Yeah, we're immune to protection disruption right now, so... whilst the shield generator is active, right? Yeah, let's just back out. Once the shield generator is gone, it all falls apart. Good stuff, though. Is it weird that Bane is your first Conquest character? No, not really. It's just probably telling of when you started playing, I guess. Doing good, so needs a few changes. Had it the first time, but should get soon now. Okay, cool. And yes, you should start your BAM farm, Luke. Padmecron is all I want. It's got almost perfect Gungan roll, though. First try. 5-star boss. Nash will love it. Definitely Dino. You dated a gal from Yorkshire. Crazy how many different accents we have. Yeah. She's a northern lass. Ooh, woo. It does not, Romjo. It does not win. Have you considered not dying? I thought about it, Wolfie. I did consider it, but I thought, nah, it's overrated. It's overrated. Not dying is totally overrated. Let's climb in fleet. Before we forget. I better go right now. I'm falling deeper and deeper. Think I better live right now. Doop 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 doop. So. I suppose it depends, but that I won't get the... So let's just go over here. I guess that's the long and short of it. Let's just go over there. Oh, we totally could have got it done. We totally could have got it done. That's okay, though. I was thinking there we could have probably just immediately taken out that guy, but there we go. Stuff and things happen. Okay, I can kill that over there, so... See if we can get heal immunity? Pew 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 pew. I do like the ability block. Skill issue? It's got to be a skill issue. I'm absolutely convinced it's a skill issue. Bottom bomb. How very dare you? Sure. Get him. I'm loving all my dodges right now. Got to dodge for days, baby. Yeah, sure. Why not? Blow him up with bombs. Nice. Bip, 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 ba-dum. Eventually. Oh, he's just now sabotaging my hangar, and I'll take over his capital. Love it. Could I get a roster review in Valheim? Yeah, of course you can. I'd say you are covered in troll armor. Basically. You need to start working on teching up a little bit, Wolfie. Farm. Just keep farming. Never enough. Absolutely, WC. Have you heard anything back off CG yet, WC? Starting to suspect the Ewok Lightspeed bundle might be a ripoff. Why would you advocate for it? Dino, don't you even. Don't you even. You know I didn't advocate for that piece of trash. You know my feelings full well about the Ewok pack. I'm a blueberry. I just don't have any blueberries. I mean, the blueberries are pretty rare, man. They're pretty rare blueberries. But I have taken to killing abominations for fun now. I've been going mano a mano, just me, a shield, and an axe. Going mano a mano with abominations, and it's perfectly fine unless he gets some friends, and then it gets scary. Not yet. That sucks, WC. Alright, guys, so let's get in the big screen so everybody knows how we need to do things today. Today is a roster review day, for those of you who do not know, over here. See this little thing down here? Roster reviews. We're doing roster reviews today. It is going to be completely free, but if you wish to donate over here to the Master Qui-Gon Jinn Fund, please do go through the link in my roster review form. If you want to sign up for a roster review, I'm going to be pinning in a few short moments a link to a Google form. You have to fill out the Google form if you want a roster review. It is a first come, first served basis. Those people that donate through the PayPal link will go on the priority list, and you will be going first, essentially. And that's all it. That's all it. It's very easy, very quick and easy. So I'm going to get that. I'm going to pin that in the chat, and we're going to get cracking on some roster reviews. How does that sound, everybody? I'm sure it sounds amazing. Booyah. Let's get pinning this business. Let's get pinning it. Roster reviews, sign up, pin the message. Alright, so we'll just let that run for a couple of minutes while you all ruminate on the possibilities. Ruminate on the possibilities. Hey, MSRM, how you doing today? Oopsie. Let's try this again. Roster, let's try this again. Roster review. Sign up form. There you go. Yada, yada, yada. Pin those messages. Alright, guys. Sick. So I'm going to hit this little button. You see now it says over here, it's open. You may now sign up for roster reviews. First come, first served. Those that do make a donation, minimum of £5 through that donation link, if I can get this mic to stand correctly, will be placed on a priority, so you will go first. Everybody else is going to be in chronological order, 10-minute roster reviews, and we'll get through as many as we possibly can. That is the aim. That is the aim, guys. Boom, boom. Rooster reviews. I will review your roosters. Each and every one of them. Every single rooster that you have, I'll review it. And I'll say, damn, that's a nice cock. That can't be a breach of terms of service. I'm talking about an animal. Surely. Hey, what's going on, Arkan? How long was the line before today? No idea. I've reset the line. Well, the line resets itself. It was somewhere in the 40s or something like that when we did it. When did we do roster reviews? Was it? Has it really been a week? Can't remember. Can't recall. So we have been busy sausages already today. Busy sausages already. We've only just begun, and Tickle has somehow done it twice. That's okay. We will delete one. Oh my days, look at you all go. You're all jumping in there and filling out my roster review form. Congratulations. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen. No, it's quite alright, Tickle. Don't worry, buddy. It's fine. I can just... It's very easy. I can just get rid of the row. Because I don't know what happened. It had two of you back to back. Quickly becoming one of your favorite channels. Oh, thanks. Is it Lassie? Or Lass? How do I pronounce your name, Mr. Grenvald? Lace? I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry, dude. Help me out. Help me out here. Help a brother out. We're just going to give that a couple of minutes to populate, and we will get cracking. So it's very important you fill out the form so that I can give you the time necessary to give you the advice that you're looking for, right? Helps me focus that review that little bit better. And don't forget, if you are making a donation, like whoever that just was, that you say yes to putting on the premium.
£10 for Master Key gone.
Master Key gone. He's lost his keys. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Boom, bam, boom. Let me just double check and see who that was. Going over to my dashboard real quick. Gotta go over the dashboard. Within the feed, that was Lone Wanderer. Thank you so kindly, Lone Wanderer. You start work in 36 minutes. Oh, Scott, dude. Buddy. Buddy. That's not good. For Keygon. Yep, good business. Good business. We do like Keygon around these parts. For Master Keygon. Part of me wants to do like a YouTube short where I deliberately mispronounce the names of popular Star Wars characters just to try and get people to respond and comment and say, that's not how you pronounce Obi-Wan. I'll be like, an Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenob. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm triggering myself. Pronouncing that back. Alright, we'll get cracking in just one moment then. Just one moment. Just one shake of a porcupine's tail. Whip. Gotta get all that data cache. I'm nearly out of data cache. Rip me. Nearly totally out of that data cache. Okay. Right. We are going to begin. We are going to begin. So, Lone Wanderer over here. You have indeed put forward for priority review. I've got your ally code. That's the journey guide. That's not where we're going. Over here to the allies. Oni Wankenobu. Oh, by Wankenobnu. Inobu. Patrolling the Moab makes you wish for a nuclear winter. I have no idea, Bezad. You just got off work. Congrats. Been working for the past 5 hours. IT work with multiple monitors is great. Hell yes, Dino. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Can I get some of your prestige? I need it for the malevolence. No, Faithon. This is my prestige. You get your own. Get your own prestige. Don't forget the GAC sign-ins. Don't forget your GAC sign-ups, everybody. 404, you don't have a guild. Alright, cool. So, we're going to get this countdown timer up and running. This is for Mr. Lone Wanderer himself. Thank you so much for your donation to the Obi-Wan Kenob Master Fund. It's a great guild name. It's a great guild name. So, just checking out the messages that you gave. You said you're waiting for Queen Amidala, and then you're going for Leviathan. All right, sick. 8.2 mil, and you're actually doing Queenie. All right, I like it. I like it. Going from Negotiator to Leviathan, that's a big jump. That is a big jump. All right, so we are rocking triple GLs right now. I'm going to turn my music down just a hair, or at least I would if it was actually working correctly. Apologies. All right. So, you say you're waiting for Queen Amidala. So let's have a quick look at Obi-Wan Kenobi. So you do actually have a Relic 5 Obi-Wan Kenobi, so congratulations on that. And I'm assuming you're going to be doing some light whaling, Mr. Wanderer, on the wonderful Poncho Qui-Gon. Yeah, just so you can get the team up and running, I'm assuming. Let's actually take a look at the rest of your Galactic Republic, just to see where we're at. What are we looking like? What are we looking like? This will be hilarious if you actually get a 7-star Master Kenobi and relic him before you've got a relic OG Qui-Gon. That's kind of nutty, dude. That's kind of nutty. All right, so there's a lot of theory right now that Mace could be very, very good with Queen Amidala, and I don't doubt it. My concern is a little bit around Mace is so good in so many teams that it's it feels a little bit expensive. But apart from that, you still have the likes of GMY, for example. You could use Shakti. I'd be remiss to recommend any of the clones. OG Padme could, but right now with the Datacron, I still feel it very much belongs elsewhere. Yeah, I mean, I think you can get something up and running. You'll be able to build up a team to work with Queen Amidala, no problem. So I'm not against it. Let's see how... What does your fleet game look like right now? Okay, so fleet game. You have literally none of the GL capital ships, and you're jumping in balls deep into the Leviathan. You are a brave individual, Wanderer. You're a brave individual. Not only did you do Lord Vader, but you also went for Leviathan. Do you like pain? Do you like misery? I'd probably hold off on Lumi. I'd say that Barriss is probably a better shout, to be honest. I know Lumi has got an Omicron, but honestly, there's a bit of counter synergy with Padme's team with the way the protection up works. That early thoughts are that Lumi won't be great. Maybe wait until people have done a little bit of testing to see how it interacts and whether or not it'll be worthwhile. Because outside of that, Lumi's just not good. I love pain. Lord Vader was your first GL. Yeah, you definitely love pain. Because you like Lord Vader into Leviathan, they are some of the biggest grinds in the game. But at least, hey, look at it this way. Going forward, everything will feel really easy. You know what I mean? Going forward, you'll be like, this grind feels very, very easy because I don't have to do so many relic levels. My big concern, I guess I call it a big concern, I'm guessing maybe some of this is lightspeed bundles. It's not a concern, really. Is you've got 8 million GP. You don't have any Galactic Legend capital ships yet. I know you're about to get one. Let's actually check out your Sith Empire. All right, so you're waiting on the R9 for Darth Revan. You've got... Oh, hold up. Malgus is R9, so you actually need Darth Malak as well. So you're a little bit away, and that's okay. My concern is that for the GP size, you're going to need to catch up on some of these high-tier teams. You fill out your Galactic Legends, get another ship, really. After you've got Leviathan, you really want to try and push quite heavy and quite quickly into something like Executor or even Radis. But at the same time, like a roster this size without having Jabba in there to try and boost up your mod score is going to suffer in the long term. I don't know how close you are to the likes of Jabba and stuff like that. Not particularly close. Let's have a look at some of your Sith. Okay, so yeah, you've got a little bit of Marauder. I mean, you could probably, after you're done with Padme Leviathan, you could probably actually get Executor relatively quickly. And then dip into C just to say, okay, I've got now 2 GL capital ships and I've pushed in for a 4th Galactic Legend as well. You saved up a lot of relic materials for R9, but still need to keep saving. Yeah, relic 9 is no joke, dude. Relic 9 is no joke. It takes a heck of a lot to actually hit that threshold. So I'm not particularly surprised. Roast my roster. Hey, Lion, how you doing, bro? Yeah, I'm not surprised. It takes a heck of a lot. I need to actually see, where do you actually get to in fleet, in your fleet shard? 64. So I think this is a big issue for you right now, is that you're obviously not able, well, maybe you are able, but because you don't really have the ship depth, the fleet depth, you're not able to climb into the top 5 of your fleet arena, which means you're missing out on a whole boatload of daily crystals, which really, really helps accelerate your farming for signal data and stuff like that, right? It gives you the capability of triple refreshing that energy. So, I mean, honestly, if I were you, I know you're probably like, Queen Amidala is nice, shiny, and new, and I love Phantom Menace or something like that, but I'd feel like you really need to push your investment into the Leviathan just so you can start climbing in fleet to start getting those crystals in. Because if you waste resources going for Queen Amidala and delaying the rate at which you can start climbing in fleet, every single week is just making that worse and worse and worse and worse, right? Because right now, I don't think, if you can get into top 50, I think you get like 50 crystals a day. Whereas if you can get into first, you get 400. If you can get into top 5, it's like 200, 300, something like that. So, shiny. Indeed, Wolfie. Indeed. We must not be hoodwinked by the shiny. Now, I'm completely on board with people having passion projects and wanting to push for something that they love. I get it. I'm behind that. I support you. But if people come and ask for advice about how I would start investing, I would really think about trying to accelerate your fleet performance. Must whale on Qui-Gon. You do you, Peak. I will be whaling on Qui-Gon. Hey, look! A distraction! Indeed. Indeed. Doesn't take much for me. Gosh, I need another drink. So, the other side of Queen Amidala is she's not really going to help you earn any more crystals. That's the other side of it. It's not like she's going to be the difference between you being in Kyber 3 and Kyber 1, for example. Not when you're missing the pivotal fleets. You might be able to push up to Kyber 2, but I would argue that you could probably do that without her. Maybe that Padawan Obi Cron might help a little bit. You've got pretty good progress here on the Crons, though. This is not bad progress on Crons. Good work, dude. Probably commit to Leviathan and hold off on Quadmate. Personally, for me, it will help you more in the long run. Because can you imagine every single day gaining an extra 400 crystals? Every single day. Just be like, yep, 400 crystals. Now, in order for that to happen, you need to unlock Leviathan quickly, and you kind of need to get him quite high star as well to really start benefiting from him. And by high star, I mean you need to 7-star him. So the quicker you can do that, the quicker all your other farms for the rest of your game time will be. Do you know what I mean? Lion's Den, if you want to join the roster review, you got to follow the code, buddy. Follow the link that's pinned inside the chat. Do your mod refreshes, people? All six of them? Gosh, I used to do 6 mod refreshes a day for a while, and I ran out of credits. Genuinely. I spent like 120 million credits within a week. Something like that. Well, maybe not a week. Maybe a month. Maybe 3 weeks. And I was like, this is unsustainable. I never did like celery. I actually like celery with a bit of hummus. So yeah, that would be my focus. Just so that, once you've got Leviathan, you can get everything else that you want, right? Until whatever comes past and supplants the Leviathan. Right now, Leviathan can just beat everything. Like, if you're using the lineup I was using earlier today, we start in with the Interceptor, you go in with the Fury class, and you go in with the Sith Fighter. It doesn't matter how many relics the enemy has, doesn't matter what setup they're using. I mean, I wouldn't use it against Profundity, you'll get wrecked. But in a mirror match, it doesn't matter, because you'll always get that TM advantage. Unless you miss. Thank you kindly to whoever just donated.
I tipped £5 for Qui-Gon.
Thank you kindly. Ubaj. Thank you so much. That Qui-Gon fund is getting up there. 95 out of 130. Thank you kindly. So, Wanderer, do you have any questions for me before you go in. But before we wrap this up, because my big concern is without having that fleet hold, your farms, you're going to find your farms very, very difficult to do. Girthy Qui-Gon Fund. This is the way. Just checking in with Lone before we wrap this one up. I mean, you've got a sick roster, dude. I'm not trying to take away from that. You've got a lot that is more in the bulk area. Sure, the top end over here, you've only got 3 GLs and no capital ships at 8.2 is fine. But look, you've got things like Gas, you've got Maul, you've got Bane, you've got Malgus, you've got Starkiller. You know, you've got Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, you've got Ben Solo. So it's not like it's you know, your roster isn't bad. It's just once it gets that ball rolling and once you start climbing in fleet, this thing will explode in the next 6 months. You know, later down the line, after Leviathan, what galactic legend should you go for? Jabba. Jabba. Honestly, you could probably hold off with just the one capital ship. The sooner you get Jabba to start enhancing your mod farming, the better off you're going to be. And that sort of ties nicely into getting JML and Profundity. You could, of course, just do an Executor Rust to pick up C. That would be a quicker farm, but I feel Jabba benefits your roster more. Later down the line. No worries, Scott. No worries, buddy. All good, Line. Good defensive teams to level up for GAC. I mean, currently that's a problem, Wanderer. Currently that's a problem. We live in a meta right now where nothing really holds on defense. The one thing I would say would be, right now, JMK Cat with Padme is a menace with the Padme-cron, but you don't actually have the JMK Cat team. You've got Padme, obviously, and maybe you could work something out with the Padme lead, but I've not done any empirical testing on that. Slacker, if you have a Slacker-cron, which you do, which is great. Let's have a look at it. This is still good. This will still be a pain. Yeah, this is actually a nice setup. It's a shame about the 2 accuracy rolls, but, you know, you can live with 2 accuracy rolls. Yeah, Slacker right now with well-modded Slacker for a lot of offense, really good speed. If you get your Slacker to be like, you know, we're talking 580 plus with a boatload of offense, then he can theoretically just blow the board up turn 1. It won't really work so much in 3v3s because he doesn't gain enough mastery, right? Well, damage because there aren't enough relic levels on the team, but in 5v5s that definitely works. 3v3 you can look at some old classics, you know, like CLS Chupio and C3PO, stuff like that. You can look at stuff like Newt with B1 and Django. These are sort of like older teams, but they still do work. It's an older code, sir, but it checks out. Also, using things like, you know, Starkiller and Malicos to your advantage is going to be key. I don't know if you've actually got Malicos. You do have Malicos. He's missing a couple of bombies and some relic levels, but he is there. So, I mean, you can do some fun stuff. You can do some fun stuff. You know, like... yeah. You can do stuff like... Sia, Malicos, Starkiller. That's rather nasty. Yeah, I mean, you've got options available to you. The problem is right now is a lot of people just save so much for offense that it's very difficult to actually get any holds. So you have to learn to play with being offensive and efficient. R8, R9's justified for Queenie. Summon stats are based on a level. R8 for sure. R9 if you can really afford it. It's just a bit of a luxury, isn't it? Alright, we're going to wrap that up there. Thank you so much, Mr. Wanderer. Appreciate you. Alrighty. Let me grab a drink and we'll go on to our next review. I believe we had another donation from Ubaj. Ubaj, what? Okay, I can see you over here. Yeah, I can see you. I thought for a minute you hadn't put the the premium listing on. We'll get to you in 1 second. No worries, Wanderer. Keep cracking, buddy. All right. So, Ubaj, are you in the chat, buddy? As he is our next review. Ubaj. Good stuff, good stuff. Alrighty, let's get you up on the screen. Are you close? Let's have a look. Yes, you are. So, Ubaj is the only other priority roster review that we have at the moment. Then there's Tickle My Ash, and then there's you. Okay? So, Ubaj. Let's go ahead and start the timer over here. Okay. So, Ubaj is saying, just getting profundity and working on your Gungans. Okay, good to hear. Good to hear. 7.43 and already working on Gungans. Like it. Chilling in Kyber 3. Got a 6-star Executor. Like to see it. Like to see it. Okay, so we're rocking triple GLs. Love to see that you got JML this early. The only thing I'd say is, you know, maybe if you get the opportunity, I know relic levels are going to be hard, but try to pump up the relic levels on the JML. Getting him to relic 9, out of everybody who's not an actual R9 requirement, JML is probably the most valuable R9 in the game. Because obviously you can't, like, things like Revan and Radis, you obviously have to take to R9, right? But JML is actually very, very good at R9. So if you do get it, I know that's hard to say. It's very easy to just push off R9 JML and just be like, yeah, we'll get that later. And then, you know, 3 years later, you still got an R7 JML. A little bit painful. A little bit painful. All right, let's see what we're doing down here. 6-star Executor with the R8 Piet is still pretty good. You got your Negotiator game up and running. Oh, I can see you got Marauder here, but looks like no investment in the Bad Batch, so you can't really make advantage of that at the moment, and that's okay. So you say you're working on profundity. How close are we talking? If you've got JML, I imagine you've got some of the requirements at least. Okay, you're doing pretty good progress, actually. Pretty good progress towards that. Good. I'm definitely on board with you getting profundity. It'll put you in really good standing, right? Because you're going to have 3 GLs. You've already got your Executor, nearly at 7-star. Profundity works very well at low stars. It's not like the Leviathan that really needs to be 7 stars in order to maximize its potential. So I like that you're pushing for profundity. It's going to give you that additional flexibility when it comes to GAC and climbing in Fleet Arena. How high are you able to climb right now with a 6-star exec in Fleet? 30. 30 currently. How high can you climb? Can you get into top 10? All finished, just waiting on the event. Nice. So that should be on the 1st. It's either 1st or the 31st. It's either right at the end or right at the start of each month. So 2 weeks? No, a week. You're able to get into the top 20. Okay, so I think you're able to get at least a little bit of crystals. Once you get the profundity, will that change? What is your top 20 looking like? What is your Fleet Arena full of? Is it all Leviathans? Now you do have R3 on the plow. Do have R3 on plowy over there. Is it a really good team? Good for the team? 2 Levy and the rest are Executors. Oh, yeah, okay. So the profundity will rip through the Executors unless you just don't get any assists, which can happen. But you should have a pretty easy time of climbing versus the Executors. The Leviathan is just horrendous, really. Unless they start setting some off-meta teams, it gets a little bit iffy. You obviously don't have the Chimera counter. And that's okay. I wouldn't necessarily rush the Chimera counter to Leviathan just yet. But hopefully, yes, you will be able to progress quite well. If there's only 2 Leviathans, you should be able to climb against all of them. Even at 4 stars, the Profundity should be able to beat out every Executor team. Yeah, you might drop a couple of battles due to bad RNG, but that means to me that you should, provided, you know, nobody in your squad arena, your fleet arena is deliberately trying to knock you down, stopping you from getting a payout, you should be able to get 3rd, theoretically, right? Maybe even higher. Which is going to be great crystal income for you. Great crystal income for you every day. So that's awesome stuff, Ubaj. Loving it. Loving it. So you say you're focusing on Gungans. How are they looking? All right, so you got 7-star on Tarpals. Here's the Cantina farm. We should be getting Phalanx? No, Boomadeer. I think it was Boomadeer. Yeah, Boomadeer. You should be getting Boomadeer next free-to-play farmable. I have a feeling he's going to be either this week or next week as a free-to-play farmable. All I'd say is just make sure that you are ready for early sort of July-August period. Early August period for Jar Jar to come back. Yeah, it's most likely going to be 3 months. So we're talking like the first week of August. Just make sure all of your Gungans are ready and at Relic 5 so that you're able to jump into that event and unlock Jar Jar straight away. You don't want to be farming these up, gearing these guys up, and then find out that you've missed the boat. So make sure you track the farms. You only need to get 2 shards, so you should be totally fine, no matter, even if they're on hard nodes. Maybe just do the 1 refresh a day to finish off the remaining, I don't know how many you need, 185 shards a piece. Need 10 shards for Boss Nass, 6. So you're basically done with Boss Nass as well. That's awesome. If you can, I would totally recommend throwing the gear on these Gungans right now. That way, you're definitely not going to be caught with your pants down when Jar Jar's event comes back. Because CG have only said that it's going to be roughly every 3 months. That means it could be in 2 months' time. It could be in 2.5 months' time. It could be 6 months' time. And I want to make sure that you don't miss out. So just make sure you allocate that gear to the Gungans. Don't accidentally spend it and find yourself, oh, I don't have the Chirotech. Oh, I don't have the Gear 12 plus pieces to take these Gungans up to relics. Yeah? And of course, you'll need the signal data to get them all to Relic 5 as well. Around 115 on each. Yeah, you should be absolutely fine then, Ubaj. As soon as I'm ready for the event, I'll DM Meathead. And he's going to just push it live, yeah? Yeah, I think that's the way it works. Okay, I'm on board. I'm on board with both of your farms. Both of them are sensible. Now, I'm sure you're doing Gungans to future-proof for the upcoming raid, right? Which should drop around about the same time as Jar Jar's return. So I'm on board with that. That's good business. As for next steps, I would really recommend that you get Jabber after this. You're going to be at least part of the way there, thanks to the crossover of farms between JML and Jabber. You've finished Profundity. There's no real burning need for you to get Leviathan right now. It is a big farm, and I don't know what your Sith Empire looks like right now. You've got Revan and Malak, but no Malgus, no real work on the Fury class Interceptor either. He is a good guy, I agree. He's definitely a good guy. How is your Malgus and your Fury class Interceptor looking, Ubaj? Have you been working on them in Proving Grounds? Because it is something to... At some point, you're likely going to have to farm the Leviathan. The only other thing to consider is, of course, that we can assume that sometime this year, and probably right after the raid goes live, that we'll get the next big farm, which will... It's either going to be a new Galactic Legend, or it's going to be a new capital ship. Both of them are going to be vitally important. Usually, a new capital ship signifies a flip in the meta, and you'll want to be able to get it just so you can stay at the top of that fleet arena, right? 7 conquest units after this Proving Grounds. Holy moly, Ubaj, you're going to have a hard time there, dude. 7 conquest units? You've got Ben already, so who are we talking? You got Malakos already. Wow, the Malakos being at Gear 8. Poor Malakos getting neglected. Poor Malakos getting absolutely neglected right now. That's a real shame for him. So yeah, you've got Malicos. You got Ben. What is it going to be? Like Dadbod, Boba, and Trench and some ships? No Starkiller Zeta. You actually missing a Starkiller Zeta? Alrighty. Do you not like... Are you just like completely broke of Zeta mats right now, my friend? Are you completely... Do you have like no Zetas available? Because we're missing Zetas over here as well, aren't we? Is that the one that makes it an AoE? Reduce this ability's cooldown by 1. What? Oh, special abilities cooldown by 1. Cat, Maul, Trench, Malgus, Tai, Scythe, Fury. I have 4 Zetas right now. Okay. So I'm assuming that you're saving those Zetas for stuff like Cat and Maul, right? I mean, Maul... You'll be able to have some use out of Maul, I guess. I don't know if you've got any Mandalorians geared up. Probably not. No, not really. You can run Maul under Slacker. It's still an unaligned Force user. Won't be ideal for you, but maybe you could sit on Maul for the time being. Do you use all of Reaver's armies? I don't know. Just the 2, Scott. Is the good Omicron the one of the bit? Yeah. The there is much conflict in you is the most important Omicron to have on Starkiller. They're all good though. All of them are good. This one over here is the important one. This is the one that does like 90% of the heavy lifting, and then the rest are just fun to have. The rest are just fun. Like, I value them. I use my Starkiller quite a bit, so... Yeah, definitely feeling... I think you're right to be saving the Zetas with so much getting unlocked shortly. I'm pretty certain Darth Revan's got a missing Zeta as well. With you unlocking so much, I understand why you're holding on to Zetas. Let's quickly just check over here. Yeah, that's the only thing I would say. If you do get a chance, try to gear up Zori. But then you would also need the Finn Zeta. The Finn Zeta and the Zori army. To make a secondary team here. But you've got your own priorities right now. I think that you should probably stick to your guns right now. Stick on Gungans. Get that profundity unlocked. And then start thinking about Jabba for your next GL. Alright, buddy. Do you have any other questions, Ubaj? Cat is good with Padme, especially now with the DC. Yeah. Yeah, if you don't have JMK, Padme with Cat does do very good things. You're absolutely right. You ain't pulling it out of the sky without the army. You're very welcome, Ubaj. Thank you for your kindness and generosity. Thank you for your kindness and generosity, buddy. Big love, my man. Alright, let me just quickly check in on the guild. I want to make sure that... yeah, no new pings. Because we do have Territory War active at the moment. We do have Territory War active right now. Let's grab this. Okay. I know, right, Bezad? That's just unacceptable to have so many people watching the stream and not liking it on YouTube. Yesterday, we managed to hit like 119 likes on the stream. I would like to beat that today. I would very much like to beat that today. So if we could do that, that'd be amazing. He does. He absolutely does, Night Fox. It is so one-sided. Alright, Tickle. Tickle, you around, dude? Tickle my ash. Shh, shh. Where are you, buddy? Where are you, buddy? Hey, there we go. There we go. Tickle's in the house. It is your turn, good sir. It is your turn. All right. Starting the clock. So, Tickle says, bought 2 Lightspeed bundles, Ewoks and Night Sisters. Ewoks, really? Currently at 185 out of 330 for Cat. farming stap and executor requirements. Only need IG2K ship. Okay, good. Finished relics on all the CLS teams. Thoughts on other projects. Okay. Okay, good stuff. Thank you so much for the follow there, Solo Borito. So, 5.1 mil. 5.1 mil. A Rhodium 2 player. Let's see what we're working with over here. Wow, get you, buddy. Get you. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. You got a JMK and you've got a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. Nice. Good start. Apart from this nonsense. What is this about? This I like. This less so. This less so. This I can't get on board with. Okay? Like, just murder bears, man. I got it to have some filler for your defense in GAC. That's fair enough, mate. That's fair enough. Alrighty. Okay. So you say that you've just finished up Rebels as well. Now, whilst I absolutely love the Rebels, I like CLS Rebels. To me is one of my favorite teams in the game. They're in a bit of a dip in viability in current climates right now, and it's a really Zeta heavy team, as I'm sure you're aware. You've got the triple Zeta on CLS, which is great. You've got the hands shoots first. You've got the loyal friend, is it? Loyal friend ability. But you know, like still missing one over here, Raging Wookiee or something like that. Chewie's Rage, that's it, I think. It's a very Zeta-heavy team, and they do good stuff, but I'm a little concerned that many of these Zetas and the relic levels here could have gone elsewhere. Could have gone elsewhere, but I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to judge. Just making an observation. So, I know you say you're getting your Executor. You're just waiting on this last star over here on IG2K. How's your BAM looking? Let's check out the supposed bounty hunter BAM. That's not a bounty hunter. Okay, so we've got the Razor Crest. We've got BAM. He's a little bit low on the old gear. Says the IG88, but yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I think you're going to be okay starting off with the Executive Fleet being at this sort of stage, right? Eventually, you'll probably want a little bit more relic levels over here. I mean, by a little bit more relic levels, I mean some relic levels on BAM. JMK was your first GL. Fair play to you. You got it to have some fit on your defense. I agree. Just had CLS and hand done for the longest, then started getting done. Yeah, that's absolutely fair, dude. Gear 10 right now. He can go to Gear 12. Just putting Kairos for Stap right now. But we'll get into relic once Stap is done. Oh, sorry. You're farming Stap shards, right? You're not actually gearing Stap, right? Oh, you have geared and put the Omi on Stap. Okay, so what's the aim exactly? I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. GG Stap, great team. It is a good team. Do you also have the Datacron rocking? You do have the Datacron rocking. You just saw this Datacron and you're like, I really want to have a Stapcron, right? I just really want to be able to use this Stapcron. For the raid, plus you have his Datacron. Yeah. Okay. So, whilst I'm not against it, it's kind of cool. It's bear in mind for future farms when you're doing this sort of thing that I know it feels like, oh, it's just one character. It's just one character. It's, you know, just this, just that. It does slow down everything else that you do in the game. So, like, that taking him to Relic 3 or Relic 5, I guess, because you've got his level 9 Cron, right? That's still a significant investment in both Chirotech, signal data, relic materials that could go to another farm. So that might delay you by a week for something, which can sometimes trip you up in the long run. It's you know, I'm not berating you for it, but just have that mindset when you're looking to achieve future goals, right? Once Stap is done, you're going for BAM and exec farm relics. Well, exactly. So, you know, if you hadn't done Stap, you might already be exec ready, you know? Like, you could have gotten exec a month early, which might give you a month's worth of better crystals. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it would have landed like that, but it could have landed like that. And a month worth of additional crystals, I don't know how late game your fleet shard is, But being able to climb up from 32 into like the top 10 or the top 5 is a significant amount of crystals over a 1 month period. Yeah, you feel like you couldn't accelerate that IG2K ship farm. I'm guessing you're not refreshing the node for IG2K. Because, you know, if you're refreshing Cantina energy, that's 100 energy per refresh, right? You could just not do one of them, refresh your IG2K in half the time for that farm. Maybe you are already. You're doing the 20... Okay, no. All right, I'm totally on board with you then. You're doing the 25s and the 50s. Your farming is on point. I like it. Going up to the 100s is... Or, yeah, I think it is 100. Is totally not worth it for fleet. So you're doing it right. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I'm proud of you, Tickle. I'm proud of you, buddy. Okay. So let me remind myself on what you were saying. Farming, Stap and Exec. Only IG2K. Just finished thoughts on other projects. Okay. Yeah, totally. Thoughts on other projects. So I'm assuming you didn't get like the... I'm assuming you didn't get the other Lightspeed bundles over here. So we don't have to worry about feeling obligated to start pushing for things like Ray. Because, you know, you got the Ray Lightspeed bundles and all that sort of business. You can see a gas rocking up over here. So that's good. I like... If you've watched my channel for any period of time, Tickle, you know that I'm not somebody that is a big proponent of let's go ahead and farm up the B tier teams instead of focusing on the top tier. So my recommendation is always taking a look at that top slice of ships and of characters and thinking, how can I best develop my roster to hit these in an optimal way? So I'd always look at, we're getting Executor, do I need to get Profundity? Is there anything in my account right now that I've already done that sort of kind of helped? Not really, I guess, with JMK. Can I go for Leviathan? I mean, we've got the starting building blocks per se, but I doubt you were ready for Malgus. So we could probably knock that off. Yeah. So let's focus instead on the other GL areas that you can focus on. Any account that doesn't have Jabba should really try and get Jabba straight away, just because of the benefits to your roster, the benefits to your modding. All right? Getting access to that Smuggler's Run 2 just does so much for improving modding. It's just insane. Nothing actually comes close to it. Nothing towards Profundity. Yeah, that's fine. After you've gotten something like Jabba, you probably do want to start looking at going in for Profundity, or even Leviathan to a certain extent. Just because Executor is great, but it's not going to carry you the whole way. It's not. It's more of a stopgap. The Executor can do a lot of things, but especially if you're not getting those stars up, you're going to struggle after a couple of months. You know, where other people in your fleet shard are getting their Leviathans and their Profundities, you'll have a hard time trying to break that gap now, and you'll start losing crystals. So always be like, find the gaps, the opportunities where you can not invest in fleets so that you can start building out the rest of your roster. But every time you do have that opportunity to get a step up in the fleet arena or maintain that advantage in fleet arena, you should be taking it. So I think for now, once you've got your Executor, you can probably hold off, start farming for something like Jabba to really improve the mods, and then take a look at what's coming after this raid is dropped. Because if the next Conquest unit, which we're going to get in like 2 weeks' time, if that next Conquest unit is a ship, we can almost guarantee that that's going to be indicative of what the new capital ship is going to be. So say, for example, we get a Separatist ship upcoming. We can probably assume that Admiral Trench will get a capital ship, or somebody within the Separatist faction is going to get a capital ship. I'm not saying that's going to happen. All I'm saying is if we get a ship, that means most likely we're getting a new ship. That tells me, for you, you don't worry about getting Profundity or Leviathan after you finished your Executor, but you keep an eye on where is that going. Is this a Separatist? Maybe we can start farming up our Separatists. Don't invest anything until you see what it is, but be prepared for that switch in the meta, because if you can catch that wave before the rest of your Fleet Arena shard, you will basically have 5-6 months of sitting on the top of Fleet Arena. You know what I mean? Unless CG really butt fumbles the new capital ship. I'll say my mods I do try really well on. I've been trying to lean into doing well in Conquest since I missed out on so many Conquest units when I wasn't playing. Tickle, that is a great way to approach things. As long as you're doing that triple refreshes on your mods and you're trying to get the most out of Conquest, everybody should get the most out of Conquest because it's an incredibly valuable game mode. I understand that with 5 million GP, you might not have the largest depth to get all the feats done and get the highest boxes, but just try and get the highest you possibly can. All right? That's good business, man. Do you have any other questions, Tickle? I like it. You've obviously got your head screwed on right. You got your head screwed on right. You're farming mods. You're taking the correct approach to refreshing nodes. You're prioritizing getting capital ships and GLs. So I like it. Right, primaries there too. You've got 6,300 speed right now. Nice. Executor Jabber. That's the way I would do it, Tickle. Executor into Jabber, but keep one eye on what this new capital ship, what this new conquest unit will be in a couple of weeks. If it's not a ship, relax a bit, go full send on that Jabber. Get Jabber done. After Jabber, that's when we need to think about a new fleet. All right? Get business. Get business. Alrighty. Thank you, Tickle. If it is a ship, my concern is I don't have Trench. And I'm guessing you haven't had a lot of progress on the proving grounds for Trench. It's not guaranteed to be Trench. It's just, you know, shaking that magic 8 ball. All signs point to Trench if it is going to be a separatist capital ship. Got 60 shards? Ouch. That's going to be painful, dude. That's going to be painful. I'm not saying... I don't know if you buy the Conquest Pass Plus, but at least that would accelerate that farm for you. Agreed, Tickle. There are loads of proving... And Trench just hasn't been important. You know, he hasn't historically been important. You have a bad feeling it's going to be Bo Mando's ship for a GL? They'd have to release a bunch of fleet. They'd have to release 5 ships and a capital ship. That would be rough. Could you imagine if we got, like, a Mandalorian fleet? I mean, it would be sick, don't get me wrong. But they'd have to release so many ships for that to work. Triple... Yeah, doing it 3 times to try and catch up? Yeah. Gotcha, Tickle. Just got to try your best. Ah, that's good business. Got the Slackercron as well? Good stuff, Tickle. Good stuff. Alright, I need to take a very, very quick toilet break. Then Zion, if you are in the chat, you are up next, buddy. Agreed, WC. They'd have to release another bounty hunter ship to replace the Razor Crest, and that would just feel awkward. Alrighty. They could release 4 to 5 ships and have them used in an event for the new capital ship. I mean, that's typically how it would go. But Like, it's... You know, they would have to... They'd have to release a lot of ships very, very quickly. Back to back to back, you know what I mean? That's pretty tricky. Okay, so Zion, you are up next, my friend. Let me just double check if that is the case. I don't think there's any more. Nope. Okay, good stuff. So Zion, you're up next, buddy. Let's get your ally code in here. Zion, the calm hater. Do you hate calm people, or do you hate in general in a very calm manner, Zion? They released 4 new marquees for the Jar Jar event. Yeah, but ships are different, Drew. Ships are different. N1 Mando ship, I would love to have that. But we would need that for a new Separatist one, no? Or Maleva's useless. Try to get the Slackercron, end up with the First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter pilot. That's the better one to have, to be honest, Ruler 2. Maleva's use is it that it spawns its own reinforcements. That's true. Rule of 2 Naboobies. With Bo, you're breaking one of their meta fleets, pulling out Razor Crest. With Trench, you'll just create a bunch of pilotless ships. Hyena Vulture goes to Malevolence. Geo's Dooku ships, Kalani goes to Trench. Yep, all makes sense. All stuff we've talked about in the past. Hey, Grydon. Any counter you know a JMK with the Padme Cron? It's a bit of a nightmare, to be honest, mate. It's a bit of a nightmare. Mirror matches. Mirror matches usually work. In a calm manner. Good. I hate angrily. Good for you, WC. The what hater? Oh, calm. I try to be polite, a polite individual. I like that, Zion. That's good, mate. It's usually only 2 marquee ship, if even for new fleets. It's usually, well, it's never marquee because they don't do marquee, but they'll do like galactic chases and sometimes conquest ships, right? But that's what I'm saying. If it's a brand new fleet, they need to do at least like the very minimum of 3, but we'd realistically need 4 or 5. Okay, cool. So, gonna get cracking on this review then. So, Zion says, 280 on Slack, and I'm thinking about doing Jedi Knight Luke and Jabba next. Okay. Good business. Let's check you out then. Zion the calm hater. He's very calm. So, we're looking at 4.7 million GP right now. Relatively early account. Chromium 2. Rocking the Darth Revan setup in Squad Arena. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see Darth Revan. It was one of my favorite metas, actually, Darth Revan, because it came right after the Jedi Knight Revan meta, which was horrible 4-minute battles constantly. It was gross. And then Darth Revan meta came in, and it was like 60-second battles. You go in, you just like go nuts, fear everybody. You get an assassinate off from HK-47, and the battle is over. I love it. So, JKL into Jabba next. Any account that doesn't have Jabba, I'm always in strong favor of people pushing for Jabba, right? You know, you guys have watched me before. You guys have watched these roster reviews before, I'm sure. Getting Jabba is one of the most beneficial things to any account ever, right? I'm a little concerned at 4.7. We've got nothing as far as GLs is concerned, but, you know, that's okay. That's okay. How are we looking on the capital ship side? No, none of the GL capital ships worked on just yet as well. So definitely something for you to consider. Jabba is not a short farm. It's not a short farm at all. There are other GLs that are quicker, but I do agree that getting Jabba is usually in people's best interests. What I would like to say is that you are probably better served at this point pushing for Executor than pushing JKL into Jabba. Only because you're going to have Slacker, you're going to have a GL to work with. You really need to start climbing in that fleet arena to start earning crystals, and Executor will enable you to do that. You won't necessarily get to the top. I'm actually very impressed that you're at 39 right now with Malevolence. How high can you climb with Malev? You're close on Exec too? Good. Maybe next month? That's a bigger focus for me. Make sure you can get that exec up and running before you start working on Jedi Knight Luke and Jabba and all that sort of business. Focus everything on getting that ship as soon as possible, preferably with a couple of stars. Get the Revens because they're cool. They are indeed cool, Zion, I agree. I didn't have Darth Revan for so long. Has to use Padme to climb. That was the great thing about that meta. You had Jedi Knight Revan, Darth Revan, and Padme, and it was like a, rock paper scissors meta. It was cool. You have to do it every stream, Chaz. Unless you're doing a donation to put on the priority list, then yes, you have to do it every stream. It wipes every stream. I think 18 was the highest. That's impressive, dude. That's very impressive. So what I can imagine then is that your fleet shard and account shard in general is pretty young, right? Not a massively old shard, not a massively old account or anything like that. So you unlocking Executor, you'll be able to, I almost guarantee you'll be able to get first, if not top 5, which will be so many additional crystals for this that you'll be able to shoot up. So 100%, all of your resources right now should be put in after you've got your Slacker. Obviously, you want to get your Slacker up and you want to get the relic levels on the Slacker and all that sort of business. You do want to get that all that. But once that's done, you should shift everything, every single resource you have into finishing that Executor farm and getting as many stars in that Executor as possible as quickly as possible. Climb to the top of Fleet Arena and start reaping in that 400 crystals a day. That's then going to turn back and feed into the rest of your roster. That's when you can start looking at, let's go and look at Jedi Knight Luke. Let's go look at the long-term farm for Jabba. Yeah? You with me? January 2023. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Fury class doesn't count. That was Conquest. Well, what we're saying is that, you know, it's 3 new ships. Not that it's all galactic chases. You're only left with Dengar. Everything else is done. Nice. I'm loving that. Let's check out these bounty hunters. Let's check out the bounty hunters. Yeah, Boba Fett is up and running. Bosk is up and running. IG-88 is up and running. You need that Cad Bane going. Where's your BAM? How's your BAM looking, buddy? How's that BAM looking? Okay, BAM needs a little bit of loving. He needs a little bit of loving, but that's okay. Let me check out the bounty hunter ships. Got him, got him, got him, got him, got him. Love it. Love it. Good business, man. Good business. Yep. This is where all of your focus should be. All of your focus into that. Then what you can do is you can go down the Jabba farm, and then you can think about after you finish Jabba. Obviously, Jabba is a massive farm, so we're talking 6+ months, you know. Obviously, that might get accelerated somewhat if you start earning some real good crystals from fleet payout. You'll probably climb up in GAC as well, because you'll have a GL, you'll have a capital ship. That's going to really drastically change what you'll be able to take on. Oop. Sorry. Apologies. After that, yeah, definitely start looking down that route for Jabba and Jedi Knight Luke. Jabba will give you so much on the modding side of things anyway. So I want to have a look now. I'm seeing some light speed, not hyperdrive. Hold up. Did we get the Ray bundle as well? Did you get the Ray bundle as well? Okay, yeah, no, that changes everything. I mean, it doesn't change everything. Your focus should 100% still be get Executor. After you get Executor, finish off your Ray farm, dude. You can't get that Lightspeed bundle and then go on a 6-month jaunt getting things other than Ray. Like, just get Ray done, dude. Get Ray done. So, after Executor. Executor is going to bring you more benefit long-term than Ray will. So, definitely 100%. Get your Executor up and running, but you need to start working over here. Get this JTR up there. I don't know how your Holdo fleet is looking. Okay, so we're missing a star before we can kick that event off. Does Ray work well without Ben? Yes. I'll check that Arcan for you after we finish this roster review. It's not fair for me to pause someone else's roster review to look at that. So, yes, absolutely. Like, Ray's still a GL. Like, let's not forget. There are teams that don't use Ben for Ray, okay? And yes, it won't be an ideal team, but you can still go in with Ray and JTR and the Bag Bros and Holdo, and it will still do good stuff. It won't be as ideal, but you know what it's better than? It's better than having all this that's not doing anything. You know what I mean? This is just it's just sat there. doing nothing, you know what I mean? Exactly, Arcan. Exactly, buddy. Exactly. So let's keep on having a look through here. Oh, we got the Night Sister bundle too. That's kind of sick. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Night Sisters. This Night Sister bundle was highly valuable. Wow, you got the Omni over here on Merrin. You're pushing hard on this. I mean, my only concern for people with Night Sisters is it's very difficult, or very easy rather, to get suckered in and being like, let's try and get the most out of this. The Night Sisters are similar to CLS. They're a very good team. They're very useful. But they need Zetas to properly get the ball rolling. You know what I mean? Like Mother Talzin has got potentially 2, but you need her leadership, really. Merrin has got 2. Daka has got 1 that you really want. Asajj, if you really want her to ramp, she's got another 1. Then you don't really need anybody else because you'll be using Zombie. But it's like, it's a good team and everything, but for you to really gain the advantage, you need to drop a whole lot of Zetas. And if you're unlocking stuff like GL Ray, you're going to need 6 Zetas for Ray, and then you'll want to have Zetas on Finn and Poe and stuff like that. So you don't really have the luxury of just using to the full extent of their capabilities, the Night Sisters. You might still be able to set them down defensively and potentially get a hold, or you might try and take them against weaker things and still, you know, eke out some good viable wins there. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend going full send on Night Sisters and Zetas and stuff like that. Apart from that, love seeing that you've got your Treya with the Omicron over here. Let's have a look. We've got Treya and Savage as well. Some really good GAC Omicrons rocking. You got your Nihilus up and running. You can safely ignore Darth Sion because you got Savage, but maybe you could take him to Relic 3 just so you've got a full team that you can, you know, apply Datacrons to down the line. I'm not sure how much. Yeah, well, yeah. Datacrons is not something you really worry about just yet. So, yeah, you've got some good viable teams here. I like it. I like to see it. And you got the Wampacron. Love to see the Wampacron. Anything else that's jumping out to me? Item Versio is a very, very useful team. So I can see that you do have. So you're not going to be far from C as well after you finish off the after you've finished off the executive farm. You're not going to be far off from C because you got your Colonel Stark up there. Relic 3 on him. Relic 3 on Veers. You've already got Piet up and running. You've already got Emperor Palpatine up and running. It's like, huh, yeah, all of a sudden you're only a hop, skip, and jump away from C as well. How's the rest of your Sith looking? Okay, so yeah, the Maul and the Sidious and the Dooku, they don't really have any work on them. And the Marauder. But, hey, it's stuff. Good stuff, Sion. You've got 110 Zeta mats at the moment. I haven't done my CLS team. I can't recommend that you do it. Save those Zeta mats. Save them. They will disappear as soon as you unlock Slacker. Like, Slacker has 6 Zetas. That's 120 Zeta mats. Don't start throwing them willy-nilly on CLS. He needs so many Zetas to get that team up and running. You've also bought the Rebel Pack, so JML also close probably. Close to many things. That's the only issue really with the Lightspeed bundles, is they get you close to a lot of things and they don't really help with Zetas. So, yeah. You're about to unlock 2 GLs, essentially, a bare minimum. They each have 6 Zetas. You don't need to apply all of them, but you're going to want to apply most of them, and eventually all of them, as well as additional Zetas for the team that supports it. So don't start throwing those Zetas on CLS, please. Save them for your GL teams. That's the most important thing you can do with them. Okay? Cool. Cool business. All right. Thank you so much, Sion, for letting us take a look at your roster. I like it when we get to see the smaller accounts. It's good. Yeah, I'll check your mods real quick. Let's have a look. Mod score. Ally code. Boop. Ba-da-da-da-doom, boom, boom. Ba-bum-bum, ba-dum, boom. Okay, so you've got a mod score of 2.47, and all things considered, a mod score of 2.47 at a low GP really isn't so bad. You've got a couple of 25 pluses. So the only thing I would say is that if you keep buying Lightspeed bundles, that's going to really, really hurt. It's going to dip really low. But eventually when you get Jabba, he will help keep that mod score afloat. Okay? You're going to gain a lot of GP in a short amount of time, just generally speaking, especially if you start climbing higher in Fleet Arena. because that crystal income is going to feed roster growth, right? So if you're not focused on getting mods, it's going to be very easy for that mod score to drop. You just want to make sure that you're constantly aware and cognizant of the fact that you need to farm mods, okay? Good business, buddy. Alrighty, so let's see who's next in the queue. Next in the queue is a guy called Nikairos. Nikairos, are you in the chat, buddy? Yeah, Chaz, I don't think that investing in Zori for him is going to be the right time just yet. She's great, but he doesn't really have the depth in the roster to support a raid team without using the bag bros, I don't feel. Otherwise, normally I'd be like 100% invest in Zori, she's great. I mean, you could throw Zori under Ray. It's not an ideal setup. So, calling once again for Nikairos. Nikairos. Going once. Woo. Nikairos is next. After that, it's Scott. I know Scott was working, so I'm not... Nikairos is here. There we go. There we go. So Nikairos is in the chat. Let's get his roster up. Let's also get this Bronzium. Oof. Beautiful. BEA beautiful. Hang on, before we do that, let's just double check. We've got 30... This is your 30-minute call for GAC, guys. 30 minutes. You need to lock in. Can't resave the roster. That's a good thing. That's a good sign. No changes to the account just yet. Alright, here is Nikairos. So let's start this roster review. Let's do this. Okay, so Nikairos says, not sure what to do next. Relic in CLS, Trayer Inquisitors, then JML. That sounds like a lot. At 5.4 million, no to none of any of that. You've got Slacker, which is great. I'm happy you've got Slacker. What have we got for ships? We've got a 7-star exec. Oh, mate. Nikairos, I'm proud of you, buddy. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Let's actually see. Where are you getting in Fleet Arena? 4th. So you can definitely climb to the top of Fleet Arena. You need to use this time to your advantage. Okay, you're in a great position here because you're able to climb to the top of Fleet Arena, earning all of those crystals a day. I know that it might seem tempting to just start investing in CLS, but CLS essentially doesn't take you anywhere. It's great, don't get me wrong, it's a very useful team to have, but it's a team that you can come back to later on down the road once you've got the core framework of your roster built out. Oh, the Twitch chat isn't actually coming through. Thank you for reminding me. I apologize. I apologize. Twitch chat sometimes doesn't get pulled through into my full chat. So, yeah, no, we saw the Twitch chat. I'm checking both chats, don't worry. So, yes, I've signed up for GAC, yada, yada, yada. Hello there, Curious. Checking both Twitch chat and YouTube chat at the same time. I am Vlad, yes. Hi, Amy. How you doing today? No Zeta on Finn, etc. Yeah, exactly. Can we do... You're more than welcome to have a roster roast. If you'd rather have a roster roast, you just say that inside of your roster review request. Anyway, so getting back into things over here, Nikairos. The only reason I would invest in Inquisitors is if your guild is doing a strong push for it, okay? If you're in a guild and all of the guild is like saying, okay, we really need to start pushing, trying to unlock Reaver, I would be 100% behind you in your endeavors to do that, okay? If your guild is not pushing for Reaver, then I think you can afford to hold off just for now, unless you're looking to position yourself to make a change into a bigger guild. All right, because that is a thing that you can do. You can try and make yourself attractive to a bigger guild by saying, hey, look, I'm Reaver ready. You just have to make sure that this isn't a guild that is already got a bunch of 7-star Reavers and they don't care about unlocking her. Other than that, I would say no to Inquisitors just because they're incredibly Cairo heavy. Like, it will cost you a fair whack to get those Chirotech together in any sort of reasonable time. And after that, you need to take them all to Relic 5, and then you get Grand Inquisitor, and he's got a bunch of Chirotech. Then you need to take 5 of them to Relic 7 so that you can actually start participating in the Reaver event, and then you unlock Reaver, and then you got to invest all the Chirotech into her and take her up to like Relic 7, 8, 9. You know what I mean? It's a big investment. And during the time that it would take you to do this, you could basically get a GL. You know what I mean? Reaver's great. Don't get me wrong. She's fabulous. You should probably focus on other areas. I think you probably have other priorities right now, Nakaris, that is more important for you to actually do, you know? You get 9-ish. Okay, so your guild is already pushing 9 shards. That's not... I mean, it's not terrible. It's a good start. But if your guild is actually in that position where they're like, we want more and more people pushing for Reaver, and you're actually seeing that go through, each month are you getting, you know, maybe 3 months ago, maybe you're getting 1 shard. And now you've got, you know, then you went from 1 shard to 3 shards to 6 shards to 9 shards, and booyah, you're getting 9 shards. If that trajectory keeps going, then I can get behind you going for Reaver, okay? Because it needs to have the guild buy-in, otherwise you're making a massive sacrifice yourself for a team for the longest time that isn't going to give you anything. If it's a big guild push, and in like 2 months' time, you've gone from 9 to 20, and then another 2 months' time, you're getting like 40 shards of Reaver, all of a sudden that feels worth it, you know? Because you'll unlock her then in a very quick turnaround. So, I don't have the direct insight into your guild, but if that's the sort of trajectory and that's the momentum that's building in your guild for Reaver Inquisitors, absolutely go down that path because it is worthwhile, and it does also play off into fleet as well. Because, you know, it's a key part of the Empire fleet is being able to have the Scythe and the Interceptor available, right? I don't know how progressed you are on that proving grounds. Have you got shards of those ships, Nakaris? Are Inquisitors good without Reaver? Grand Inquisitor can beat a couple of things. It's not typically things that you will see. He's not terrible. More importantly, right now, he does have a Datacron set. It's only going to be around for another 4 months. So, I'm not sure how much use you'll get out of that. They can do some stuff. They can, you know, like... Grand Inquisitor will take down stuff like Jedi Master Luke. Maybe not right now with all the additional protection, but generally speaking, I mean, I suppose we could offset that by saying, yeah, but we could also have a 9th Sistercron. You know, and then you can actually start getting some work done. They can beat some things. They'll beat most Jedi teams. They won't beat JMK Cat right now because it's not a nice place to be. But they're not phenomenal without Reaver. With Reaver, it's a whole different story. They all of a sudden they start kicking some severe ass. You know what I mean? Inquisitors pretty much always have a cron. That they do. There's always something that applies to an Inquisitor. Your Slacker is the only Proving Grounds team. It's the first hard conquest this round. Nice one, Nakaris. Well, I mean, has it just started this round of conquest? You're doing hard mode? That's good business. Make sure you keep that rolling each time now. So, you know, this one will be your first one really getting Queen Amidala shards. Next time you'll get a brand new unit, which is all good. Other than the Scythe being important for the Chimera fleet. Well, and the Interceptor. I mean, you don't... Like, the relic levels on 7th Sister, is it? I think it's her ship. No, 2nd Sister, sorry. The relic levels on that ship doesn't really matter because it doesn't really come into play. You just need to have it, you know? You need to have it so you can have the first reinforcement, bring out the TIE Defender, and be like, hey, look how amazing I am. They cover so many tags. Empire, Inquisitors, Unaligned Force users. Yes, they do. There's also always Conquest Inquisitor feats, which is so annoying. Yeah, there's almost always a Purge feat. There's almost always a Purge feat for Conquest. But thankfully, those are very easy. Not very easy. Those are cheesable even with low gear Inquisitors. My favorite go-to Conquest team. In the current setup with Zealous Ambitions, using stuff like Dash. Dash with Cat and a bunch of Quickening and Zealous Ambitions just kills anything. It's great. If you're looking with Amplify Agony and Volatile Accelerator, Reaver. She's just a monster. So yeah, I don't want to get too derailed here. But essentially, if you're not... If you decide that the guild isn't building enough momentum for Reaver, then I would definitely recommend looking towards getting Jabber ready more than anything else, unless you already have a bunch of investment. I'm not going to see this and see... I am. Okay. We're basically Ray ready as well. I can't, in good conscience, recommend anybody start pushing for a new GL if they've got a Lightspeed bundle, which basically gives them a GL for free. So... Get Ray, dude. Like, just get her. You don't need Ben. You don't need Ben. Ben just makes it better. When you're... Look, you're over here in Chromium 2. You don't need Ben with your Ray. Your Ray will do fine. Just get Ray. The Radish Shards? How far off are you on Radish Shards? Okay, you're 4 stars. So you can't be that far from a 5-star Radish, right? Shorty, she lays down the wood with the zealous ambition and leader's resolve. Gotcha. Yeah, Dash does the same thing, basically. And Adrad and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. It's never too late, Letha. Never too late. I can't promise I'll get round to you, but it's never too late to sign up. As long as that open sign is down there. Yeah, so essentially, you can't be that far away. What is it to get from 4 stars to 5 stars? Is it 80 shards? No. 65. I can't remember now. 65. Yes, thank you. 65. So at most, that's going to be 6 months, right? Oh. You say they're scribe, but I'm like 2 relic levels off 2 characters, R5 to R7, and Vet Chewy needing to upgrade from gear 12. Still doing anything but. Just get Ray. Like, is this... And it's always new, Phil. Always new. They have tremendous roster growth potential. They do, yes. I have all the Ray Rex relic, farming all the high relic mats to get the units to 7. Good business. If I do a priority review, can you help me with my GAC defense instead? I mean, if it's still on a 10-minute timer, then yes. If it's still like the thing about a GAC defense setup is that we could go very, very in depth for that sort of thing, and it would take a long ass time. But I can do a 10-minute review and try to see what we can do. It's very hard to do in 10 minutes. So I'm just checking up on Nicarius's messages. While waiting for Addis, I've been going wider. Yeah. So it's certainly something that you can do. You can start going wider when you're waiting on Radish Shards, but you're still going to need that gear, right? You're still going to need that gear at some point. So, like, Ray herself will need gear. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's going to need a bunch of Kyrotech, so don't start blowing it all elsewhere, because then you won't be able to gear up Ray. You'll just unlock her, and maybe then you'll struggle getting the ultimate unlocked and stuff like that. You know, they're a lot harder. But definitely try to make sure that you do try and push that. I'm not saying you need to refresh the Radis event necessarily, because that gets very crystal expensive. You know what I mean? But certainly try to make sure that you do get her unlocked. I love that you've got the Executor all maxed out, because that's giving you such a huge advantage right now. I don't think you need to start pushing for Profundity, but do get that Ray unlocked and then start looking elsewhere. Start looking more focused on what's my next GL. Is it going to be someone like Jabber? Is it going to be someone like JML? Are you going to try and pair off those farms together? Or even Inquisitors, like you said yourself. Inquisitors if the guild is pushing that way, you know?
Daniel, 483,554,479.
Any questions, Nick Iris?
Pounds, PayPal donation for priority roster review.
Oh, thank you kindly, good sir. Can you give a lineup of next 3 people for the reviews? I have working a little bit. Absolutely. So, we've just had Daniel come through as a priority review. So Daniel is going to be next. After that, it's going to be Scott and Messerem. So far, if obviously we get another priority review come through, then that will take precedent. Hey, Apricot Warrior. How you doing today? Ray Gear. Indeed. That's a lot of Kyrotech there. You're thinking Jabba even when I'm not super close? Even before JML? No, not necessarily. I said like Jabba, for instance. If you're very close to JML, 100% get JML. JML is so very, very valuable. Hold up. Oh, yeah, of course. I was thinking R3 Plo? I was thinking it's the gas lightspeed bundle, right? So, what am I looking at here?
Tipped £5. GAC defense help.
Thank you kindly. Okay. All right. Okay. I mean, I'm looking at the Rebel fighters and stuff like that. Whoa. Hold up, not Calcaton. Let's check out the Hut Cartel. Yeah, you're nowhere near it on Jabba at all, are you? JML, there's nothing wrong with JML. He does feed over a little bit into Profundity Farm. He does feed off a little bit into Jabba Farm as well. It's okay to go there. Again, Inquisitors with your guild is something to think about. My priority for you would definitely be, think about what your guild is doing for Inquisitors. If it's got enough momentum, then you push for Inquisitors. Make sure that you get that Ray unlocked as soon as possible, not necessarily by refreshing the Radis event. Make sure you've got the gear for her to go up and running, because she will be like 600-700 Kyrotech. She will need to go up to like minimum Relic 7. She is a GL after all, and she'll need all the Zetas and all that sort of business and the support to go with it. After that, absolutely, take a look at that Jabba farm. If JML is closer, you push for JML, get him done. I'm always advocating go for the GL that you're closest to straight away, but certainly try to transition into Jabba. You don't need to get Profundity until you start losing that momentum in Fleet Arena, but seems as though you are already at the top of Fleet Arena. You should be able to take maximum advantage of that, starve the other people in the arena essentially of their crystals, so that you can keep that without having to worry too much about fleet progress. All right, cool. I was going to say, I was looking for Mon Mothma. I was like, I can't see Mon Mothma. But I'm sure you'll get Mon Mothma relatively quick. All right, cool. Thank you, Nakairos. You're doing good work here, mate. Really solid work. Really solid work. Hopefully you'll come back again soon in a couple of months' time, and we'll have another look at your roster. Have another look. So next up is going to be Daniel, and then it's Ankhthar. So it's going to be Daniel, Ankhthar, and then, provided no other priority reviews come in, it'll be Scott. Alrighty. So let's get Daniel up here. Thank you kindly, Daniel, by the way. There is one Profundity in your arena. You can deal with that Profundity with a 7-star exec, so you should be good. Enjoyed the stream, but need to head out? No worries, Canna. All the best, buddy. Hope to see you on the stream soon. I'm glad you're doing well, Apricot. Let's go over here. Refresh this timer. Oh, so Daniel is Apricot Warrior? Is that right? I mean, that's what it looks like. Apologies, Apricot Warrior. You are Daniel. Daniel is Apricot Warrior. They're one and the same. People saying they're close even though they're like 3 months away just to not farm Ray is insane. They're close. I mean, yeah, like if you've bought a Lightspeed bundle for a GL, make use of that. Make use of that and get the GL. That's the reason to buy the pack. Okay, good stuff. Let's have a look. General review, please. 5-star exec. Hold up. I've got to remember to start this timer. Okay, so general review. You've got a 5-star exec, which I can see. Lovely. Currently 30th. How high can you climb in Fleet Arena? Working towards 7-star. Going for Jabba, then Profundity, and then see where we are. I mean, this is great. You know, I mean, you're doing the review for me here, buddy. Either Leviathan or Lord Vader. Ouch. Ooh. I'll unlock Reaver in the meantime, but in Quiz are low gear. I am also Daniel. Okay, good business. 8.1 million. We've got Leia at Relic 9. We've got an Executor. So this is an interesting account over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 GLs at Relic, at Gear Relic. GP, 8 million. I can English. Promise you I can English. Alrighty. Let's have a moment to ruminate and absorb this information right now. I definitely think, obviously, your fleet needs a little bit of catching up. Your fleet needs a little bit of catching up to the GLs. You've got pretty good representation of GLs at 8.1 million, nearly 8.2 million GP. Because, you know, we've got Slacker, we've got Rey, we've got JMK, we've got Leia, we've got Jedi Master Luke. A little bit sad that there's no Jabba, but that's strong representation. When we look at fleet, though, we're only working on a 5-star exec, which is like, I know fleets isn't sexy, isn't fun, but we do need to try and take advantage of fleet because it gives us so much in return. You know what I mean? Highest you can get to is 10th in fleet. That's still pretty good. 10th is okay. I would ideally we would want to get up into like top 5, and ideally we want to get first, really. First to get that 400 crystals a day. Especially now with all the Ray / Holdocrons, for real. Don't make use of it so we have an easier time winning against you in GAC. GAC! GAC soon. Loving it. Okay, so what can we say? I think definitely you want to try and get that exec up to 7 stars. And even, to be honest, you've got JML. We're probably should be thinking at the point of, can we start even pushing for profundity immediately afterwards to give yourself that additional fleet to play with. Where were you in GAC? Where were you in GAC? What sort of... Hey, we're still in Kyber 3. That's good business. Thank you kindly, whoever that was.
Dintaru tipped £5. Hi, I've submitted the form twice, once without saying it was with a tip. Smiley face.
Thank you kindly, Dintaru. Thank you for your donation there, buddy. Okay, so you're in Kyber 3. You're in actually a pretty good standing here, probably because of all this GL top heaviness that you got going on. So good work there, Apricot. Getting more crystals would be very nice. Low star on the Adrad. That's okay. Like, stars are the least of your concerns, truth be told, my friend. Stars are the least of your concerns. Radu! Because you can farm this. He's an accelerated farm. You can get him to 4 stars relatively quickly. Relic 9, on the other hand, is a little bit more of a stretch. Malacas. Malaca. Malaca. Yeah, so that's not really a big concern. I know it's like, it will take me some time, but you're going to have the freedom to start farming up that Admiral Radis regardless, you know? 3v3, aren't we all looking forward to it? We are indeed. Thank you for the 50 biddies. Appreciate you, my dude. So, I definitely think that you should consider it, but I want to take a look at... Okay, so you've got the option of pushing for Leviathan instead of Profundity if you really wanted to. Now, obviously, the Leviathan is a lot more expensive in relic levels to get off the ground, but ultimately it is the better fleet. How are you looking for your conquest ships? We don't have a Fury-class interceptor, and we're missing some star levels on Sith Fighter and the B-28 Extinction Bomber. Are you close to the Fury-class interceptor? Let's just go by Sith ships instead. Because, I mean, like, again, the stars are not the massivest concern. I mean, it will take some time, obviously, with ships, but it's the Fury-class interceptor and whether or not you can stomach the extra Relic 9s. Just got into Kyber 3 from Erodium 2. That's a big jump. Nice one, dude. That is a pretty hefty jump. Profundity before Jabba, which is what I'm going for at the moment. Profundity before Jabba. Are you actually actively pushing towards Jabba right now? Is that what you're saying? Let me just double check. Going for Jabba, then Profundity. Let's check out that Hut Cartel. Yeah, you are actively pushing here. You've already committed. So I would say keep pushing and get Jabba. I don't think that, like, I'm always for getting Jabba because he just brings so much to your roster. I'm just trying to highlight the discrepancy between your fleet game and your ground game, as it were. You know what I mean? You're doing great for ground game. You've got basically everything, right? But you should really look to try and shore up the fleet because that's what's going to let you down in areas such as GAC, and it's certainly in gaining those daily crystals. You know what I mean? Getting top 10 in Fleet Arena is great, but getting first is twice as valuable. You know what I mean? Every single day. Which is why I'm talking about Leviathan and stuff like this. But absolutely, you've already started. You've invested quite a bit in the Hut Cartel. So I can't say don't go for Jabba. And Profundity is fine. It'll have a harder time climbing the Leviathan. 2 proving grounds away from Fury Class Interceptor. Good business. Good business. So not too bad. Not too bad. I'd definitely say focus on getting your Jabba done, but then you need to have a real long, hard think about how you're going to tackle that fleet. Leviathan will give you an easier time staying at the top of Fleet Arena, but it's much harder to get. Profundity will be better out of the box. Doesn't need to be 7 stars. Will do some good work at 4 stars. Will help in GAC, but obviously not to the same extent. You might still get a little bit stonewalled by other fleets. Exactly, Apricot. Exactly, dude. Looking forward to rewards at the end. The only good thing about it, what, 3v3? I'm only looking forward to the rewards, baby. I really wish that wouldn't turn so much. All right, so. Anyway, yeah, definitely finish up over here. You could, of course, push into the Profundity. You're going to have quite a bit of bleed over there with JML, and I love that you've got R9s over here, by the way, with JML and Jabba the Hutt. So you'll like Profundity should be an easy gather for you. So it's probably worth more. Well, it's probably not worth more, but it's probably going to be lower hanging fruit, and you'll be able to get that benefit more quickly. It just might not necessarily translate to better fleet performance. How full of Leviathans is your fleet shard? Calispera. Sorry, Emilio. If I have time, let me know what I think. I'm trying to see what your last message is. Let me grab that real quick. I don't see a previous message, Emilio. Let you know what I think about what. It's very full, so it's all Leviathans. Yeah, that does make things tricky for you to climb. Obviously, Leviathan mirrors are actually really easy, but they do need to really be 7 stars apiece. That's the only problem. So, I mean, the only other thing that we can do is you can just wait and see. After you've got your Jabber unlocked, yeah, you could get Profundity just for the low-hanging fruit and get some good benefit out of it. But like I said, we should be getting a new capital ship, and you might be better served farming the new capital ship rather than getting, you know, Leviathan or well, it'll be Leviathan at that point. Yeah, all 7 stars as well. Nice. Boo-de-boo. Sometimes preferable when you hit higher GP rosters. I fell asleep with the stream on. In my dream, I kept trying to tell you that I had all the fleets and the characters, and your reviewees were missing. Dark Stanley. That's weird, dude. That's weird. So yeah, you like that's something that you could consider then, Apricot. You could consider just finishing off your Jabba farm and then going to take a look and see what comes out, especially what comes out in the next conquest. Because we can, like, whilst we don't know for certain when it comes to a new fleet, we can almost always guarantee that it should be the most competitive fleet on the market. It'll probably also be the most expensive. I'm not saying it's going to be 3 Relic 9s, but it'll probably at least have 2 Relic 9s, just like Leviathan, and then it'll probably have some more Relic 8s. But we don't know if and when it's coming, and we don't know how well it's going to perform. So it could be months, but hey, something to consider. Something to consider. Any last questions there, Apricot? If you're Emilio on YouTube, it'll get it'll get filtered out if you type it a certain way. If you're looking to get in on roster reviews, you have to go through the pinned comment. The pinned comment inside chat will take you to a Google form. That's the only way you can get the roster reviews, buddy. Okay. Just wait to see if Emilio's got any last questions, and we shall move on. Alrighty. So after this, we're going to have Ankhthar, and then it's Dintaru. After Dintaru, it should be Scott. Unless we get another priority review. Alright, good stuff. Good stuff. Okay then, so Ankhthar wants GAC defense help. Mostly how best to use new Datacrons. Okay. Alright, cool. So we don't normally do GAC defense, simply because I find it will be very, very difficult for us to do a 10-minute review and be like, this is how you should set up your defense. There's so much to look at, and obviously lock-in is about to start, and if you really wanted to go into it, it would probably take 45 minutes, and I don't think that's what people want. That's something that I could theoretically do outside of streaming, but that's something that I would have to charge for, because it would just take too much of my time, and I don't have a lot of time. Okay, cool. So, Ankhthar, let's get you up and running, buddy. Let's get Ankhthar up. Let's just double check before we begin. Ankhthar, are you in the chat? Ah, you are here. Okay. Right. We'll try our best. We'll try our best, buddy. So, 11.1 million GP. Let's go ahead and check out your Datacrons. That's where we'll start. We'll start. We got Holdo, we got Bane, we got Sidious, we got Finn, we got Ray. Alright, good. So you got some decent Datacrons running. And we've got some Special Forces TIE Fighter Pilot. You've got Fost. You've got Ninth Sister. You got some pretty good Datacrons running. I like it. Has a lot of this got bulk? Bulk over here. Bulk over here. Bulk over here. You're doing this right, buddy. Bulk over here. Bulk over here. God damn, look at all these bulky crons. Yep. Rocking all of the bulk crons. So I'd say the low-level ones that you don't have, like level 6s and level 9s, that will go on your default defensive teams that you're going to be using, just to give them a little bit of an extra bump, right? So, first and foremost, things like Bane and Sidious are obviously offensive crons only. I would still recommend using things like Ray and Holdo as defensive teams only. Yeah, not necessarily together. You've got some health, and health. Okay, so health, no health steal, no offense. Well, a little bit of offense, and we don't have the ramping over here. So I still think you keep Ray on defense for now. Ray on defense just to be irritating, and then you'll go with a standard sort of Holdo defensive team. You could choose to mix and match, but honestly, I feel like in 3s, this isn't as valuable. So with the Ray Cron, you'll want to have like Ray Ben, and then you could throw in the likes of JTR if you wanted. If not JTR, then Cal, to have one team defensively there. You could keep that on the front wall just to pull out something, maybe like a Bane if you're lucky. Holdo Cron, I would definitely be using this one. So you could do something like... trying to think what would be the best use of this one. I mean, you can just throw it with Zori, but it just feels like, you know, Finn, Zori, Holdo just doesn't hold enough right now. Yeah, the Sand Squish, indeed. Hey, Yoda, just got on the waitlist. How long of a waitlist is it usually? It'll be today. It won't be today, Emperor Yoda. I'm sorry, dude. We've got like, there's like 40 people in the list right now. So, yeah. Okay, so offensive on the Sidious and the Darth Bane Cron. Mace is terrible, truth be told. First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter Pilot. This, if you are taking your Slacker to offense, or even defensive, truth be told. I would most likely recommend setting this here. Now, this is going to come down to how are people going to tackle it. JMK is kind of a stonewall against First Order, even with this current Cron set. If they've got JMK with the Padme Cron, it's an absolute nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare versus the Slacker Cron. So you can try and bait out JMK on the front wall, and then hide Slacker on the back wall with either the First Order Special Forces... Oh, actually, you don't have the Slacker. Sorry, that's Reaver. Apologies. So, yes, if you want to set this defensively, I would hide Slacker on the back wall south. Then you'd go, like, Slacker, First Order Special Forces, TIE Fighter Pilot, and then maybe Hux, maybe using crew instead. Just checking to make sure you're still here, Anthia. Do-do-do-do-do. The Fost Cron over here can be useful. This one can be used with like either a Phasma lead or a Hux lead, depending on where you're going to set that. I wouldn't expect amazing things. It might just catch people off their guard because the Cron is new. Okay? Yep, still here. Good business. Okay. Ninth Sister. This one's going to be interesting, but you've also got Reaver as well, right? I'm assuming that these level 9s you also have the characters for. I don't want to try and break up the time too much here. You have JMK and Squad Arena beat every iteration of First Order Crons. The 3 level 9s are good. Yeah. JMK is just hard counters Slacker right now. I mean, he's always kind of hard countered Slacker. So, Third Sister over here. You can throw this under a Lord Vader team, and it will be horrendous. Or you can keep her for offensive purposes and deal with basically anything. JMK Crons, for example. As we haven't gone into... This is the first 3v3 week. We haven't really seen what the meta is like right now. Maybe people will set JMK Padme on defense. Maybe they won't. I have a feeling we will see quite a lot of JMK Padme on defense. Don't have Lord Vader, so I'll keep Reaver for offense. Definitely. Okay. Yeah, definitely. Inquisitor at the turn with 2 buffs. Unfortunately, this isn't the ideal level 6. You really want to have the Purge level 6. This one over here. Because this is going to give stacking stats, you know, like this is going to expose the enemy, which is great. All the bonus damage is huge, but you'll still make good use out of this Cron regardless. I'm still unclear on this because I haven't tested this. I don't know if Reaver can revive constantly, basically, unless you have like a permadeath. Haven't been able to test it yet. So if somebody knows, then let me know. Do we do GAC reviews? It's kind of what we're doing right now. It depends what you mean by a GAC review, really. So, yeah. I would definitely keep this for offense, then. Potentially, it could be dealing with JMK Cat. So, I'd go in with Reaver, GI, and Seventh Sister. Seventh Sister. Yeah, definitely. Ninth Sister, again. I know you say you don't have Lord Vader, but her Cron is actually pretty useful with Lord Vader. So, something to use. I wouldn't necessarily... I mean, you could try and do like a 5th brother, 8th brother, 9th sister defense setup. Put it on the front wall. Might catch people off guard. Do you have JMK? Okay, so you've got JMK Cat. So JMK Cat with the Padme Cron then. This is going to be a bit of a toss-up for you, Ankhthar, right? I'm going to always go watch your streams, Greg. Yeah, thanks, Arkan. Big love, my dude. See you soon, yeah? So Padme Cron over here. You've got the Protection Disruption Cron. Which is, I mean, like, the Protection Disruption Cron is great, and so is the Defense Cron. I feel like this one's going to be more useful in 3s, just because... how you're going to split it up in 3v3. It's going to be JMK Cat, so it has to be Padme. So the reduced damage one is only good if you're not going to take advantage of the Padme one, you know? Because it's mostly used to make GK unbearably tanky. So this is still really, really solid. You got some extra offense. It's going to be up to you. You could save this to help deal with any slackers you see on defense. Alternatively, you could set it on defense and cause your opponent heartache. I would probably set it front wall, south. In 3v3, south is worth more banners in total compared to if you can only clear one. If you can only clear south or north, defending south is more valuable because it's worth more banners overall. Okay, it's different in 5v5 where fleet is worth more, right? So having your priority teams on the south wall to try and defend that is more valuable. So I would probably, if you are going to set this on defense, go JMK Cat Padme. set that on defense front wall south alongside your Ray. Try to make it a little bit difficult for your opponent to chew through that south wall. If you're taking it for offense, then all very well and good. Use the same team to take out whatever you want. Most likely a Slackercron if you think they're going to set that. Bulkcron plus reduced damage on gas is OP. It's awesome. It's awesome. Gas benefits so well from this new set. It's huge. Yeah, okay. Cool. I'm trying to think of these. So we've covered. Like I said, if you are wanting to, like, honestly, with the Fostcron, you could, if you are setting Slacker, First Order Special Forces, TIE Fighter Pilot, and say crew defensively, then you can totally use a Fostcron with like Hux and Sith Trooper or something like that. And just see how it goes. See if you can actually stall out your opponents, you know? Which two others would I run with gas in the new DC? The new DC set for 3v3 pilot? It's tricky, right? Like, if you wanted to have an optimal gas, it would be Wrexham 5s. If you wanted to have an optimal one. However, that then does sacrifice a little bit. You won't be able to use, like, Rex 5's C-Rex, right? You won't be able to set that team. So it depends on whether or not you feel like that's valuable. I think that C-Rex team with the Bulkcron is still going to be awkward to deal with. So it's a bit of a toss-up. I think, personally, I would probably try and go Arc and Echo. Probably go Arc and Echo, just to try and to gain more overall use. No worries, Enkthar. Any final questions? I'm getting hungry. Oh, I've got some food downstairs. I'm going to go grab that. Bulkcron puts reduced damage on gas. I'm good. Good business. Okay, give me one moment. I'm just going to go get a snack because I'm feeling peckish. And next up is Dintaru. Dintaru, you in the chat, buddy? All right, good business. Oh, Tom, don't even, mate. Don't start with the head cheese. So, as far as, before we get started on Dintaru's roster review, as far as GAC reviews, if people are interested in doing that sort of thing, how would you like that sort of GAC review to go? Would you actually like to look at just basics of how to attack teams? Would you like to look at basics of how to set defense? Would you like, you know, how to apply datacrons, what to go where, like general game strategy? Or do you want to actually go back and review actual GAC matches and see, you know, review your past defense, see what people used against you, see what you used for offense, see where your failures are, see what worked, what didn't. I'm more than happy to do it. I just need to think of a format that's actually valuable to people and what they actually want. So let me know, guys, in the chat, if that's something that you want doing. It's fine, and maybe we can look at it in the future. All right, good business. Just going to get Dintaru's roster up. I think it's still going to be Keller and lead gas meet. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty hard to pass up, isn't it, Wolfie? That's pretty hard to pass up. Keller and lead with gas. I mean, I've thrown in Ahsoka. I've thrown in Cam. Cam is actually pretty expensive. That's the only issue. Honestly, I'm interested to see what I can do with Padawan Obi-Wan. So... How about a SWGoH defense / offense? Would you rather that, Dintaro? Would you rather me look at your SWGoH and see? I mean, the only thing I would say is that for GAC... Hey, Vin. Things are going well. How you doing, buddy? The only thing I would say, as far as that is concerned, is that we're literally about to go into a fresh week of 3v3. So any information I give you would be based on really old 3v3 data. I say really old, like a month-old 3v3 data. We will have different datacrons and stuff like that. And also, if we weren't and we were looking at 5v5, that's not really going to be valuable to you going forward. It's up to you, though. Oh, for future GAC reviews. Sorry. Gotcha. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Vin, do you need me to do an attack in GAC or in Territory Wars? Sorry, we're carried away on the stream right now. Sorry, I might need to take a brief hiatus to do a territory war battle. Let's just open this up. I went for future GAC reviews. Hit Redbox earlier today. Oh, that's awesome, Sanest. Good job, man. I'm still chilling at the end of Sector 4 farming datacrons. Alright. Inside in defense would be very interesting. I would better get a review on my defense. Yeah, it's something we can do in the future, Thierry. Absolutely. Okay. So I can do that. I can do the Inquis team, I think. Vin, if you need me to do it, if you need me to get in. Don't forget to finish it. Don't forget to finish what? Absolutely. Absolutely, Shazrog. Because, I mean, you can do a literal live matchup of, this is my current matchup, help me set my defense and plan out attacks. Like, you can do that element of it, but that's very time constrained, right? So that would have to be, like, basically as soon as GAC lock in, which is now, basically, you'd have to see what people have got on their defensive teams, what have they got in their roster, what datacrons they've got, that sort of thing. How do they typically play? And sit through it. There's a very small window of opportunity to make the most of that. Alternatively, we can just do the attack phase, for example. But again, that's something that will take a lot longer than 10 minutes. Do you know at the end of Sector 4 until today? Nice. Yeah, I'm still there. Oh, the red box. Oh, of course, Nightbox. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so I'm just going to... So sorry, Dintaro. Let me just get this this battle in real quick. Okay. Wow, this ain't looking pretty. This ain't looking pretty at all. Alright, so we're taking on this one over here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Where is my... Oh, what? Where's my Inquisitor's Cron? It must have been before lock-in. Oh, god damn it. Okay, maybe I can't do this one then. Because I don't have the Inquisitor Cron locked in. Must have been before lock-in. Damn. Alright, I'll have to pull that one back then. Because I don't want to try this without the Cron. Withdraw that request. That's annoying. That one I should be able to do though. Let's just check to make sure that there's still that team there. Sorry guys, I will be with you in a moment. Whoop. Yeah, tell me to go clear a wall on my own. Ugh. We've already had so many drop battles. Okay, cool. I'll take this one up here then. Let's just make sure we request it first. Gotta follow the guild rules. That's it. Okay, this one over here. Get this. So, sorry guys, I'm just reading the guild requirements for this. Where is he? There he is. And then they're saying it's joli. I mean, that's going to be an issue because I don't have joli at high enough relics. So I'm just going to have to use Hoda over here. He can't ignore taunt, can he? No. Get protection. Alright. Mark, cat, killer, coin, win. Alright, good. We can do all of that. This is Clones Unleashed, WC. Let's just increase those cooldowns first and foremost. Pass it over here, get the stun. Pass it over here. Direct focus. Got him in. That's one. That cleanse from GK is a little bit frustrating. Bloody typical. Okay. Obviously we don't have the riposte anymore, so we can't attack underneath. Oh my days, that's not ideal. This ain't looking pretty. Hang on there, hold it. Nope. This ain't looking too good, my man. This ain't looking too good. Just seeing if we can actually get a kill off more than anything. I think it's probably worthwhile for me to kill Cat here. Yeah, CU is rather good. It's up to you, dude. Like, I can finish off Cat here, or I can try to get rid of someone like Kit Fisto to remove the Cron. But it's up to you, buddy. Like, we were that close to finishing her off, and then she just... yeah, they had that triple turn of the turn meter swap, and then into ult, and the mass assist, and killing Jedi Revan. Just get rid of Cap. Yeah, fair. Alright, cool. I'll lock this in then. Not pretty. Not pretty. But it was a 90% Cron, so, you know, I tried my best. It should be clean-upable with a gas team from here, though. I imagine. Sorry, buddy. All right. Failed some. Submit. All right, good. All right, Dintaru, we'll get to you now. Sorry, dude. Sorry for the delay. Sorry for the delay. Let's get that up and running. Dintaru, is your account called MNG SMC? Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Dintaru. So, let's start this off then. Just got Leviathan to 5 stars. Only 2 relics needed for profundity. Oh, nice. Okay. So you've got Leviathan to 5, and you're already pretty much there with profundity. Don't know if you should gear up Treya Gas Seer while saving crystals for Leviathan, or go for Jabba/Lair. All right. Of course, Nightfox notices the Church of Wicket is the guild name. It's a great name, but screw the Ewoks, man. All right. 8.4 million GP. Look at you, dude. 8.4 million GP. Already rocking 4 GLs. You've already got Leviathan, and you're working towards and pretty much nearly have Profundity and Executor. Dude. Dude. Props. I'm impressed. This is good business, man. This is good business, Dintaru. I'm liking this. Your JML is already at Relic 9. Okay, so let's break this down. Let's break this down. Where are you currently in Fleet Arena? Are you quite comfortable climbing all the way up to first in Fleet Arena, or do you have a lot of 7-star Leviathans? The next 3 currently are Scott, Messerem, and Red. Blast them away. So, yeah, is the top of your fleet shard impossible for you to clear through, Dintaru, or are you able to? First 6 to 8 are 6 to 7-star Leviathan. So 6 stars should be totally doable, but the 7-star levies will obviously be quite a significant level higher, right? Honestly, to get the maximum benefit, it feels worthwhile to just get that Leviathan up to 7-star as soon as possible so that you can immediately start hitting first in fleet. Because running the attacker lineup, which will be the Fury class Interceptor, Sith Fighter, and the Interceptor, it's almost a no-brainer. You can beat anything with that fleet setup. Honestly, I'm surprised you're in Kyber 3. I would have thought Kyber 2, based on what your account has got. You've got a lot of depth to the account. So there's a part of me that says you should really, really focus, saving all the crystals you can to get that 7-star Leviathan as soon as possible. It's obviously a super, super crystal heavy expense, but you don't need to invest any relic levels in the fleet to make it work if you're using the right approach, you know? So it's not like you'll need a Relic 9 Sith Assassin or anything like that. You can leave Sith Assassin at Relic 5. You don't need to invest any further in the relics over here. Drop from Kyber 2 last gag because I missed 2 rounds of attacking. Gotcha, Dintaro. That makes a bit more sense. Because I was going to say, like, you have everything that you need to perform well in GAC already. So I'm surprised, even though, you know, 8.4 million, you'd be on the smaller side of Kyber 2, but still good work. All right, cool. So, yes, I'm super happy that you're about to unlock Profundity. That's really good business. I'd like to say you really should be focusing on getting that Leviathan to 7-star, just because that will secure you your fleet income until whatever comes out next, basically. Facing a guildmate this round. That's nice. Oh, a guildmate of his. Rob's facing one of your guildies, Dintaru. That's kind of crazy. As far as where to go next, I would always try and recommend getting Jabba if you don't have Jabba. Leia is great and everything. However, Leia's value is going to diminish somewhat because the new raid should be coming in the next 2 or 3 months. which means she's no longer going to be super, super valuable from a raid perspective, a raid performance perspective. You're not going to be able to use her in the new raid, and you can't use Jabber either, but that's not really the point. Jabber will still be able to give you the benefit of Smuggler's Run 2, which is going to massively increase the amount of mods that you're going to be getting. Or the quality of the mods that you're going to be having in your roster, which is going to make you perform better in PvE and PvP game modes, right? So you'll have more flexibility when it comes to attacking in raids. You'll have more flexibility and better performance both offensively and defensively in GAC if you have better mods. So my preference for you between Jabber and Leia is definitely Jabber, and that's always going to be the case until something drastically changes. Obviously, Leia does have that Forest Moon Tier 3 event that basically just skunks you of all the good rewards and gives you 1 Omicron and 100 Mark 3 ability mats once a month, and you're like, thank you kindly. And a bunch of shard shop currency from a load of useless Ewoks. That's not to say that Leia has got no redeeming qualities. She's still very good. Leia is a very good GL. There's no arguing that. But you don't, like, yeah, there's no focus over here on Captain Rex yet, so that's good to know. It'll be pretty clean slate when it comes to that investment. Have you had any sort of investment in Hut Cartel yet? Not really. Okay, so you're more or less the same sort of position for both of them, right? Get that up there. There we go. Good business. Okay, cool. So close that out. The only other thing I would see is what situation your Inquisitors are at. You've got all the Inquisitors apart from Reaver. Is your guild close to unlocking Reaver, or really are you close to unlocking Reaver? Look at this. Look at that. Leia versus Jabber was the main question when I submitted for a roster review. Well, there you go, Don. I've answered your question for you. Mm-hmm. Getting 3 to 4 shards. Okay, I'm going to be that guy. Dintaru. Change guilds. You're too good for the guild you're in. What is your guild? Have you got... Well, actually, I can see that. Maybe you don't want to change your guild. And I completely understand if you don't want to change your guild. But an account like this shouldn't be in a guild that's getting 9 Reaver shards. 3 to 4 Reaver shards. That's even worse. God damn. That's going to take you many, many months. Many, many months. How many shards have you already got? Inquisitors were a thing I liked, so I wanted to farm them even though I knew they were a pain. No, it's completely fine. It's completely fine. Like I've said it many times, you know, when it comes to a passion project, everybody should be allowed to have a passion project and just farm stuff because they like the character. Nothing wrong with that at all. But realistically speaking, this is a very focused and good top-heavy roster that should be in a guild that is just as focused. You know what I mean? Nobody leaves the Church of Wicked. So honestly, I would have a long, hard think. So unless you are like a guild officer or the guild leader and you're very attached to the guild, look elsewhere. There will be dozens of guilds that are getting 25 to 40 shards of Reaver that will take you. 15 shards so far? Yeah, you need to move. Yeah. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, you should be in a better guild. You could walk into a better guild right now. I'm sure there are probably people in the chat right now that are like, we get 25 plus shards of Reaver. We'd welcome you on. Like, maybe not. I'm not sure how many people we got in chat right now. But you need to have a real good think about moving guilds. Because it will accelerate how quickly your roster progresses, like, massively. Exactly. If you're behind on Reaver, you're behind on the next character. And then you have to think about what crate do you guys get in the current raid, right? 100 to 200, 120 to 130 in chat? Yeah. Tom Goodwin's guild gets 20 plus. See, that's, already 4 times more than you're getting. You're in that unique position of being Reaver ready where nobody else is really pushing for it in your guild, you know? And you've got good support for the rest of your roster. You've got all the GL capital ships. Yeah, well, you're about to have all the GL capital ships. They might not be maxed out, but you've got them, so that's going to be a slow burn. And you're already rocking a bunch of GLs. So, like, that's the biggest piece of advice that I can give you right now is change your guild. See, there we go. You've got Connor over there. Connor Couture. He gets 13 to 16 shards of Reaver. Jeffrey is in a 430 mil guild. They get around 30. Mithroni Rodo gets 40. And Eli over there is saying we get 30 to 40 and we'd take you. There you go. There's already half a dozen people in the chat that get 4 or 5 times more Reaver shards that said they would take you. So have a think about it, buddy. Honestly. Definitely have a think about it, because there's no point in, like, all it is it's holding back your roster growth. It's all very well and good if you don't really care that much about it. If you don't really care that much about it, you're like, no, I just like playing with my friends. Totally fine, totally understand it. But if you really want to progress quickly and get the most benefit out of the game, then you should try and position yourself in a guild where everybody's of the same mindset and everybody's pushing. You know what I mean? And this is how the Church of Wicked fails. There you go, 30 shards, they would take you, Thierry Riga. Yeah, so basically, I spend my Tuesdays just destroying guilds from the inside. That's what we do. Who are the next 3 in line? I'll let you know in a second. So, sorry, I know we got a little bit derailed there. But I think that you're on the right track when it comes to Leia versus Jabba. Go Jabba. Focus on getting that Leviathan up to 7 stars to secure your top fleet, because that's going to give you loads of crystals, and move guild. Move guild. So, do you have any questions then, Dintaru? No worries, brother. Honestly, if you haven't already, get into one of the guild's Discord servers, searching for a guild, or even join my Discord server. There's a lot of people in chat that hang out in my Discord server, and look for a guild there that, like I said, loads of people will take you. You've got a focused roster, and you're focusing on the right things. So people will take you, and you'll, like, your roster will explode, mate. I thought we were roasting rosters, not guilds. Rip Church of Wicked. He's getting abused by his guilds for the wrong reasons. Good stuff, Dintaru. Good stuff, dude. All right, peace. Okay, so the next 3 in line. Let's have a look. We just did Dintaru. I think that was the last of the priority review, so I need to go back up. We've got Scott, Messerem, and then Red Blast. Scott, you are next up in line. Guild Roast seems like a good segment. Yeah. I'd have to be very delicate about who I roast. All right, Scott, you here, buddy? Church of Pamplu really weighs you down. The Church of Nisa is a big step up. I mean, they're very progressive, forward-thinking, the Church of Nisa. Oh, damn, we got real close to that top end of Master Qui-Gon Jinn as well. Sick. Good progress today, guys. Thank you so much. What am I eating? These are like mini Scotch eggs, basically. Okay, so let's have a look. Boom. Boom. Scott, mods, relic levels, what to go after next? Leviathan or JMK? All right, okay. So 10.5 million. Running Reaver with a Reavercron. I haven't practiced with this at all. What's your opinion on the Reavercron so far? Hell yes, Wolfie. Okay, so we've got an exec, 6-star exec. You've got the 4-star profundity. I'm actually on board with this. You don't really need more stars in the profundity. It's nice to have, but Don't need it. 6-star exec. Hopefully you're close to 7-star to get the maximum use out of executor. Executor profundity, different ships, different setups. 7 stars is valuable on the exec. I mean, not that it isn't over here, but it's more important to have it down here. So, let's go ahead and check out the GLs. We are rocking down with most GLs, which is nice to see. You got JML, you got Jabber. Hey, you are the first account today, I think, that we've looked at that already has Jabber. I might be wrong on that. One of the first accounts that's already got Jabber. So, good business. I don't have to tell you to go and get Jabber. So that saves me a little bit of hassle. Also known as... God damn it, Chris. According to America, everything's a goddamn flapjack. Everything's a goddamn flapjack. Overnight some to Vegas, please. Just Uber Eats some, or Deliveroo, or DoorDash. That's what you guys have, right? Okay, cool. I've already forgotten what you were talking about. Mods, relic levels, what to go after next. Levy or JMK. So, I guess the focus I would be is, if you're not hitting first in Fleet Arena, you need to focus on Fleet. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, JMK is incredibly valuable and will help your roster. But it won't help your roster so much that you'll be earning 400 crystals a day. Catch my drift? 10 more shards for the exec. Sick. That's awesome, Scott. So you're going to be 7-star exec very, very soon. That's going to help. I don't know how high you can actually climb, but I know you're not exactly, cracking top 5 at the moment. So with that in mind, I would be more inclined to say you should probably be thinking about Leviathan right now. You've already got 7-star Malgus over here, 4 and 6 over here. How are you looking on the fleets, though? Over here on the Sith. All right, okay. I'm not seeing the Fury class Interceptor. Are you close to an unlock on that? Yeah, we ain't going back into food again. Eggs give me gas. Very delicious, smelly gas. That's nice, line. That's nice, bro. I'm so happy you shared. I'm so happy you shared. Yeah, how close are you to the Fury class Interceptor, Scott? Learning lots from the streams. Do you stream roster reviews every Tuesday at this time, or is it more? No, Nathan. This is usually my standard Tuesday. Is I'll do roster review streams on a Tuesday evening from about 7:30, 8 o'clock GMT, whatever UK time. It's British summertime at the moment. So we'll usually do that. Usually wrap up in about 45 minutes time, something like that. Sometimes we'll do an additional stream on a Thursday for it, but that's uncommon. That's uncommon. Fleet is stacked with Leviathans, and there's a Shard Mafia. And I'm guessing you're not one of the cool kids in the Shard Mafia, no? Stay top 50 Fleet Arena? So 50 shards or so. 50 crystals, yeah. Okay. Bezad? Let's have a look. Nope, we haven't reached you yet, buddy. You're 1, 2, 3, 4 away. 4 away right now. We've just got a lot of reviews, buddy. I'm sorry. No worries, Nathan. Oh, sorry. 50 shards. You are 50 shards away, Scott, or you are 50... You have 50 shards. Because those are two very, very different things. If you're 50 shards away, it's really not so bad. You could definitely think about pushing immediately for Leviathan. If you have 50 shards, that's going to take you a long-ass time, isn't it? Through proving grounds. At that point, if you are going to spend money, I would recommend you getting the Conquest Pass Plus to try and accelerate that shard acquisition rate, right? To really get that Fury class rolling. Thank you, Tom. We're supposed to be recording another one, but we couldn't do it on Monday because I got carried away and tired. I haven't, Mike, no. Not a part of it, no. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. So you're not part of the Shard Mafia. That's unfortunate. I was very fortunate in that my Fleet Shard was very, very chill. Very, very chill. And same for Squad Arena Shard. Some of the same people, actually. And it just didn't matter. And plus, my Fleet Shard is really dead, so I've never had to worry. 50 shards away from unlock. Awesome. Scott, that's great. That's great. Definitely. That would be my inclination, was to push towards Leviathan so you can actually start climbing. You know, with Shard Mafias, as long as you're not an arse about it, usually you can get them to let you in by just poking them. Message out to the people inside the Shard Mafia. I don't know if you've had any interactions with them in the past, but message them to say, hey, look, I'm just looking to climb. I want to make sure that I'm not hitting other people during their payout. If you could give me a list of times of people I shouldn't hit, that'd be great. And then just keep climbing. Show that you can get to the top of the fleet shard by having 7-star Leviathan without, don't snipe people at payout because you'll just piss them off. And pissing them off is not the best way to get into a fleet shard. You want to be nice about it, considerate about it. I mean, you could try and piss them off. You can try, but usually that's just going to mean you're going to have 20 plus guys dropping you in Fleet Arena whenever they see you, right? So you won't be able to get any of the crystals. I've never seen a guild like this. All tier 9 Datacrons. Some are full Gungans. That's nutty, Mike. That's nutty, buddy. So yeah, that's how I would definitely progress for you, because the benefit of you getting JMK is great, but not the same value as Leviathan. After that, totally take a look at getting Leviathan. JMK, sorry. Lord Vader, you can probably comfortably leave for a little bit. He's always useful, but he's just such a big grind. Let's have a look at Bad Batch. You've actually got Bad Batch invested. You've got the Omni on Omega. Holy moly. You earlier mentioned it's not worth in getting Profundity to 7-star. I would struggle to take out 7-star Leviathan. Can handle anything else. Am I doing something wrong? Profundity versus Leviathan is not a comfortable matchup. Like, I'm not saying don't get Leviathan to 7-star. I'm just saying, compared to Executor, 7 stars on Leviathan doesn't hold the same value. You can still make use out of a lower star Leviathan Profundity compared to Executor. Just climb to first every day and eventually they'll reach out to you. Yeah, that's absolutely true, months behind. Yeah, I just... Depends how much you value your sanity. Yeah, I'm curious about the Omega Omicron, but the fact that you have that invested, it's just kind of interesting that you've got Bad Batch invested without pushing for Lord Vader. Where's 501st? I mean, your gas is 6. Arc is at 5. What about Padme? Padme is... I mean, you're quite a lot of the way there to Lord Vader already. Relic 9, Leia or Rey? Leia. And I say that with a heavy heart. I would love to Relic 9 Rey. I feel like Leia brings more to the table. The extra bulk, the extra damage that you'll deal with her ultimate, the extra survivability and all the mastery and all that sort of business is more valuable, I feel, on Leia overall than Rey. But Rey is still a very strong Relic 9. So, yeah, something to think about. Calling 501st a cracking guild is funny to me. I don't even know who they are. Like, unless they're like 650 mil plus, they're not really a cracking guild. Leia is a good R9, but Leia is a better GL. Which one do you mean? There, Em. You're like, Rey is. But which one? Rey is a good R9, but Leia is a better GL. Is that what you meant to say? They're 548 mil? Yeah, they're not a cracking guild. They're just big boys. They're just big boys. Yeah, so that's definitely how I would do that one. Relic 9 Leia over Rey. I love both, but unfortunately, Leia just adds more value, I feel. Rey is still terrifying at Relic 9 with the correct modding and that sort of thing. Let's check out your Galactic Republic real quick. The cam over there needs a little bit of loving. I wouldn't be surprised if cam actually gets made a requirement for the new raid. I wouldn't be surprised if CG were that mean. Anyone need to be faster? Guess I'll go to Lord Vader after Leviathan then? Yeah, no worries. I mean... It's a bit of a loaded question. People can always be faster. 530. You've modded your JMK wrong. This... You should have like an extra 20k protection here. Ah, that's it. No protection secondaries on either of these two. Yeah, so like whilst the speed here is okay, but you really should be hitting like 150 plus on the protection. Hey Havoc, how you doing, bro? A protection arrow will help. If you've got a protection arrow that's got decent speed secondary, I'd swap that out. The speed is fine. You could be faster, but it's not the biggest deal in the world. So looking at speed priorities over here, your Piet is actually the quickest. Whilst I'm not against that, and Piet is... well, okay, yeah, I think this is the biggest problem. I think this is the biggest problem. If I'm looking at this roster, and I'm organizing this by speed, and Piet is the top, which is fine, but Piet's speed is 333, this tells me you've got a little bit of a speed mod depth issue. I want to see how quickly it drops off. 329. Okay, that's still not bad. Hermit Yoda doesn't need to be this fast in the current meta. 326. Let's see where the Revan's at. 313. Yeah. I think that the bigger issue, Scott, is that you need more mods. Mate, I'm gonna run you a mod check here, real quick. Let's just see how we're looking over here. Yeah, it's a 5.1. For a roster of your size, you should have quite a few more in the 25 plus range. So just make sure that you are prioritizing getting triple refreshes on that mod energy every single day, because it really does make a tangible difference if you are able to have that mod depth across your entire roster where you can get a bunch of people, 350, 360 plus non-GL characters now, yeah? It's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination, but you could definitely push mods quite a bit harder. You've got Jabber at least, so you can always recalibrate. Make sure you don't cap out on those calibration mats as well. They have got I think it's a cap of like 300 on them. A Megabot on screen? Oh, sorry, you guys didn't see it. Apologies. Here we are. This is the mod spread over here. We've got a 5.1, but there's only 25 plus, 10 25 pluses, 6 26, and 2 at 27. So it's just lacking that little bit of depth, really. It's lacking that high end. We want to see quite a lot more of this. You know, you want to be looking at like, 20, 30 plus in this sort of range at the minimum, and always pushing that higher and higher and higher, you know? So just make sure you spend some time working on that, yeah? Get business. That's Omega. Yeah, I'm good, Havoc. Thank you, brother. Oh yeah, Megabot on screen. That's Omega? The fastest whoosh I've seen? Huh? The smoothest head I've seen. Well, I do have smooth head. I do have smooth head. Any last questions, Scott, then? I went to sell some mods, sold all the unused mods a couple of months ago. Oh, no, mate. Oh, no, that is brutal. Sold all your mods. Oh, God. Is it really? In which case, I'm never going to use that ever again. Malaka. Absolutely, Alex. Sorry, I had a bit of a brain fart there in my talking. Alex. I'm assuming you put your name in as Alex? Ah, you did. Yeah, 19th, my friend. And we are currently on number 6, 2 in between that have already been done. So, yeah, you're about 12 away. Omega's famous for teaching Arnold Rule 34. That's the way. That's the way. Okay, so next up is Messerem. Messerem, are you around, buddy? Don't mess around with Messerem. My baby don't mess around because I would cry, Scott. I would absolutely cry, mate. I would cry so very hard, real tears. It's happened to someone else I know, where they've accidentally gone for a remod, unequipped a bunch of stuff, and then sold all their mods. Hey, Messerem's in the chat. Alright, sick. Let's keep this rolling. We should be able to get through maybe 3 more. Maybe 3 more. So, just get everything up and running. Venomous. You are currently 9th, so you would be the 3rd. Because we've got Messerem, Red Blast, then you, Venomous. So you might be the last Frost review of the night. Unless somebody makes a donation and then it'll kick you off the list, I'm sorry. Alright. Good business. Okay, good. Good. So, Messerem saying, what to do after getting Jabber? Fair enough. So, wow, 6 mil and you got Jabber. Good for you, mate. Good for you. And a Relic 9C. Look at you. Look at you with the Relic 9C. Like, only GL, but you've got C, Malicos, and Darth Bane. You're kind of crazy, my brother. You're kind of crazy. I am on board with this behavior. It's kind of nutty, but Messerem, I like it. I like it, Messerem. Sold all your speed primaries once. Oh, God, that's rough. I was gutted. Yeah. It caused actual physical issues for a few days. Feeling sick. Okay, so you say what to get after Jabber. I'm assuming you're working on Jabber right now, but it's a long-ass way away. All right, maybe you just started on Jabber. So, let's see. You've got a 4-star Executor, which is fine. So, you've got C and you've got Executor. Those two farms do they do pair off quite nicely. Little concerned about the star count, but I suppose it doesn't matter unless you're not able to get all the way up there in fleet. You're already 14th, though, but you're running Chimera. You can't have Inquisitors. No. You have Executor, and yet you run Chimera. What's that about? Do you use that to take on Profundities? Is that what it is, Messerem? So, yeah, I'm guessing you run Chimera. It's not to counter Leviathan because he doesn't have the fleet for it. It doesn't have the fleet to counter Leviathan. Like, there's no. Oh, I suppose you do have the Interceptor and the TIE Defender, but no Scythe. That's gonna make it really hard. I can't see that working without the Scythe. Unless they're not 7-star Leviathans, maybe? Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Messerem. Let me know. You just have more experience with the Chimera. I see. Yeah, I can't... Yeah. There's a Fleet Shard Mafia, so I can't get higher? Oh, that sucks. I mean, you're already doing pretty well. What fleets are you facing, Messerem? Is it all execs and profundities, or do you have Leviathans in there as well? You should totally try and get in that fleet shard, by the way. If you're able to get into the top 10, you should be able to get in. Mostly executors. Okay. That's fine then. You've seen it win without Scythe? Really? Sometimes Profundity. Yeah, so the Profundities... Yeah, you're definitely better off using that Chimera fleet against Profundities. Low Star Executor is meh. It is kind of meh. But it can still get work done. Okay, cool. So, you say what to do after getting Jabber. After getting Jabber, let's just take a look and see where your account's at. Obviously, we want to focus on fleet, but I can't imagine... I mean, you do have pretty decent Sith Empire, which is surprising. Like, this is... I'm kind of impressed by your account, dude. Even though it's only 1 GL at the moment at 6-star, you've got a lot of depth here. You know, we've already got Jedi Knight Luke up and running. So, that's feeding into the Jabba farm, obviously, and you could then cross over and get JML. I'm not a big fan of the Afra. I mean, it's surprising that you've got it. You've got Afra, you've got Starkiller, you've got CLS. You've even got JTR. Did you get the bundle? You did not. But you have JTR. I think you've made some interesting choices, is how I would phrase this. I think you've made some interesting choices. I'm just trying to... I'm going through the roster trying to determine what would actually be very useful for you. When he finishes Jabba, he'll be heading into a new fleet matter. Most likely, we don't know for certain until the... Like, we don't know for certain until CG announces it, but we can make some assumptions if we get a ship as the next conquest character. Although it would be a conquest ship, not a character. So obviously you'll have Veers and Stark set up. You've even put... It feels like you've gone on like a legendary unlocking hunt. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like you've gone to the journey guide and you've just looked at all the legendaries and you're like, I'm going to do these one at a time, but I'll get Executor and C. And then you just like get everything. That's what it feels like you've done so far. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just kind of like, I'm kind of impressed. I'm kind of scared. Because I feel like this roster would have been better if it hadn't have been so broad and had been more focused narrowly. Because like Phasma, for example. Did you get the Slacker Lightspeed bundle? No. You need focus, I think. I've decided you need focus. I have decided, Messerem, focus is what you're missing out on. Because this shouldn't be happening if you're pushing for Jabba. And this shouldn't be happening either if you're focusing on Jabba. You must focus. Focus. All this does is like you're splitting your resources, right? So think about it. For a GL, you're going to get, what, like 12, 13 characters that you need to take to Relic 3 to 9. 3 to 8, right? We've already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 characters here. Yeah? That are at Relics, that don't form a team, don't form an effective team. And you've also got a couple chilling over here in the Resistance too. So that's 8. That's 2/3 of a way to a full GL. A full GL. And instead of having a progression towards a full GL, you've got halfway progression to nowhere. You know what I mean? Because, like, this isn't a team. I mean, it's a 3v3 team. But that doesn't really help. You know? Same for the First Order ones. Like, Crew is great. He's a great tank. But your first port of call isn't going to be with Kylo Ren, Phasma, First Order Pilot, and Fost. You know? You'd want people like Hux and Sith Trooper. Yeah, Fost will be fine. First Order Officer. So, I think what you need to do is you need to decide which farm you're going for, and then you ignore everything else outside of that sphere. Everything else outside of those characters, they don't exist to you. They don't exist to you. In fact, they've insulted you, and you're deliberately cutting them out of your life, like with aggression. You're like, no, Ewoks suck. I will not gear Nisa. All right. So focus is what you need to do, and don't like. You start a farm, you got to finish a farm. So you've got some awesome stuff. I love that you got Revan. I love that you got some good Jedi. I love that you got CLS and stuff like that. I'm even surprised you've got Afra, because I can never really recommend people get Afra, but she's worth having in general. You've got stuff like Treya and Savage, and they've got their armies, and you've got Sidious and stuff like this. It's good stuff. But if you'd have focused the roster, you probably could have had at least one more GL right now. At least one more. Maybe two. Maybe two. So, again, I'm okay with you pushing for Jabba. I think Jabba is always valuable. Forever valuable. But when you're doing that, you don't invest in any requirements outside of what is required for Jabba, because all you'll do is you'll delay that GL. Let's say it should be a 4 or 5 month farm. All of a sudden, it's an 8-month farm for no good reason, and that just slows you down. So keep that focus, and make sure you get these fleets starred up. Just don't farm all of them at once. Obviously, just bite off what you can actually chew, and work your way through it one at a time. Can I have a look at speeds? Absolutely. So Mara Jade is your fastest. That's nice. Where is she rocking? 362. This is pretty good speed on Mara Jade. I'm liking this. Well done. 362 speed on Mara Jade also kind of makes sense in the context of your roster, because I would assume you'll run a Star Killer team over here. So she needs to be fast. Well, I mean, she doesn't need to be fast, but speed and potency is great on her. 362 speed, very reasonable. Potency at 96.4 is also good. She's going to gain more potency from Palp's leadership, so that's going to help her land those stuns right out the rip, because the stun triggers before the tenacity down. All right? Remember that. Okay, so Darth Revan. Darth Revan, where are we looking at Darth Revan? 338. Again, pretty respectable speed. For your roster, that's good. For your roster and where you're at, that's good. You're not running Malgus right now, so you don't need to worry too much about, you know, having that boatload of speed from his Omicron. But while you're at it, speed for Darth Revan is literally all that matters on him. 338 is nice. Yes, you could get higher, but I think for where you're at, it's absolutely fine. Thrawn being fast. Thrawn is very, very useful. He's one of the best plug-and-play characters, and certainly very useful early game, because he's one of the few characters that can turn me to swap. Fracture is possibly one of the greatest debuffs in the game. He's just like a brilliantly well-designed kit. So, well done. 329 is actually very good speed for him. A little bit confused on Aphra. I don't use her a whole lot, so I can't really comment too much. You missed the Titans team? And I'll just check C. Love seeing it's all health sets. All health primaries. All health primaries. What are we looking at? 200k. I use Relic 9 as well. Get you getting the Relic 9C. 200k, 492. Your C is absolutely fine. You don't need C to be fast. 200k health. You're set, mate. You're set. So I'll look at one more. Let's look at Basti. 315. You've got pretty decent speed drop off at the moment. 294. Yeah, I mean, you've got it where it counts, is what I would say. You've got it where it counts. Let's check out the old Malak over here. What's he rocking? Health set. Health set and 2 tenacity sets. That's fine. Tenacity. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a bunch of tenacity on Malak. You missed the Titan team from back in the day? Yeah. I'd say your speeds overall are pretty good, to be honest, dude. Your speeds overall are pretty good. Your Star Killer being pretty... Wow, yeah. That's nice, man. A 300 speed Star Killer when he's not using a speed set, and he's still got decent offense and a decent amount of health. Yeah. It looks like you're making the most of the modding where you've got it for the teams that you've got it. You know, it looks like your priority is pretty on point. So, yeah. Hats off to you, mate. Any last questions before we wrap this one up? Good business. So, Messerim, the takeaway from that is focus your roster. Don't split your farms across multiple requirements, because you just find yourself halfway to nowhere on everything. All good, Messerim. It's like one of the more interesting rosters we've looked at today, so thank you so much for that. All right, so next up is Red Blast Them Away. Are you here, Red? Red Blast Them Away. Are you here, good sir? Oops, misclick. That's a misclick. Red Blast Them Away. He's from Anzac Vanguard. 7 mil. Another call out for Red Blast Them Away. Gonna give you... How many seconds should we give them? Do, 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 do. 20 seconds. 20 seconds on the clock. Red, blast them away. Blast, blast. Red, Blast them away. Blast, blast. Counting down, Red. You're going to miss out on your opportunity. Red, you're going to miss out on your opportunity. Red. All right. We tried our best. Maybe 20 seconds was a little bit harsh. Okay. If they come back in the meantime, we will go back to them. Hey, Rage. How you doing, dude? So, Venomous. Venomous DC. Are you still around, buddy? Boom, boom, boom. Venomous. Venomous DC. Hey, Venomous. You're here, buddy. Good. You are up next, then. You are up next. All right. Can you review my mods for my top characters? Finishing Leviathan Rex and planning on going after Jedi Knight Luke. After, I also plan to go for either Starkiller or Jabba. Go for Jabba. Okay. Mods for your top characters. I mean, we can try. We can try. 7.6 mil. All right. Cool. So, mods for top characters. We'll start off with the GL. A Relic 9 Lord Vader. All right, then. Relic 9 Lord Vader. What are we looking at? And you've modded him for offense and crit damage. Okay. I mean, I'm not actually against this. I'm not actually against this. I like a little bit of experimentation. Typically speaking, when we look at a Lord Vader, you might be looking at like 200k protection, 120k-ish health. But I do feel like there is an opportunity to make him more of a damage dealer. So he'll ramp a little bit quicker and he'll do a little bit more damage, you know what I mean? Especially with the current Datacron set. Probably is more worthwhile. So I'm actually okay with this setup. Let me know how it works out for you, because it'll be interesting to see. Just took a look at your opponent for GAC. Not well anymore. Oh, God. Have you got someone... Have you got a big boy, Rage? You got a big boy? So, C over here, we're seeing triple health sets. This is Relic 7, so keep that in mind. 190k. Your C's modding is absolutely fine. You've got good chunky amount of health. You've got decent enough speed for C. No arguments there. Good business, Venomous. Second alternate wins. Awesome, Venomous. Awesome, dude. Slacker over here, we're running speed set and health set. Got offense, crit damage, speed. How are we looking in terms of flat stats? We're looking at 569, so he's pretty quick. He's pretty quick. And we're still rocking 10.5k offense. I quite like this. If you're planning on running him with the Slacker Cron, level 9 and 5s, then I quite like this setup. He should be able to get out the gate pretty quickly and deal some pretty serious damage right out the rip. So, I'm cool with that. First time in Kyber, and my opponent has most GLs to your 1. Oh, Rage, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Just have some fun with it, man. Have some fun with it. Set a light defense so you've got lots of options for offense, and just go ham. Just that's all I can recommend. Try and win on efficiency. Alrighty. So, I mean, we can look at stuff like Sith Empire, I guess, or we could look at your gas modding. I mean, I don't feel like, for certain of these teams, it's not really worth looking at the entire team's modding, but looking at gas, you've gone for offense and defense with a lot of bulk. I like this setup. This is good. This is good. 135k protection. Could probably be a little bit higher in the 140s, but honestly, this is absolutely fine, especially with Datacrons being in the game. Speed is perfectly acceptable for gas. He doesn't need a whole boatload of it. 10k. Again, it would be nice if we could get like 10.5, but it's at this point we're splitting hairs. I like your gases modding. I have decided. We could check out the Rex just for speed. Speed, 320 Rex. Very respectable. You've got some good mods going on. I like your new mod game so far. 320 speed means he's going to be like 380, something like that. That's rough math in my head. He's probably a little bit faster. He's probably like 386 or 390 or something like that, but that's good. I like that. I mean, we can look at 5s. Yeah, it's not been a priority. Yeah, you can usually get away with having 1 or 2 characters modded Keeley in a team, and the rest can just kind of be, yeah, you know. How many in the queue? We're only doing 1 more after this one, Mini Gorilla. Because I am out of time, baby. I'm out of time. Alright, how have you modded your Malak? We've gone for 2 health sets and a tenacity set. Relic 9. So 200k on the old protection, so he's a big old chunky boy. And he's got a lot of speed to him. I actually used to mod my Malak like this as well. 126 tenacity. So he doesn't have boatloads of it, but it's fine. It's fine. 126% tenacity I feel is fine. He's chunky, which is the most important thing. A lot of speed on him obviously means he'll run through that taunt a little bit quicker, but he can cycle round a lot quicker as well for those extra life drains and stuff like that. It's good business. Let's check out your Maul. Maul has got the offense set and the health set. Relic 7. 325 speed, so he's decently quick. And 10.2k at Relic 7. It's good modding. It's good modding. Let's just take a look. I mean, we've got GI, but no Reaver. I would take it if you're at Relic 5 on the Reaver. On the GI. Yeah, that's fine. Are you thinking of pushing your Inquisitors up to Relic 7 to help you guild with Reaver? Let me know, Venomous. Let me know. Just double checking. Just checking over here. Review mods for top characters. Finishing Leviathan and planning after good Jedi Luke. Starkiller or Jabba. Right, okay. No Reaver. Yeah. Alright. I mean... definitely check out your Darth Bane. Rocking all the bulk. Health and health and health and health. Yep. The modding game is about right. Obviously, it would be nicer if we had a lot more relic levels on him. A lot more relic levels. Like, Relic 8 would be a nice stopping off point for Bane. But obviously, it's not. It's very easy to say, oh, let's just take everything to Relic 8. I feel like once his DC goes away, we're definitely going to want to have a little bit more of that relic investment on him. So that he can make up for the loss of that DC. I feel like a lot of these aren't all that valuable looking into. Oh, wow, we do have a Malgus over here. I apologize. Looks like you've lapsed a little bit on the Malgus modding and relic investments. Obviously, health, yes. Try to take these mods up to 6E. Even if it's just... I know these are not ideal mods to take to 6E, but you want that extra chonk on him. Extra chonk on him so that this big hit here, which does damage based on his max health, you want to try and pump up this max health as much as possible. It can do serious damage. This new set is also going to be giving him additional max health, so that can really help with the extra damage he puts out. He can one-tap characters. Leviathan Rex draining resources right now. Totally understandable, dude. Totally understandable. Hence this and this. Yeah, that makes sense now. Yep, you're getting there. You are getting there, buddy. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of the cutoff. You've got a very focused roster. Very focused. 3 GLs, all dark side. I'm not sure why. Do you have a dark side fetish? Because you were talking about going for Jabber after this as well. Should I invest more relics into bounty hunters for better Leviathan counter? No. Oh, when using Executor. Apologies. I will be honest with you. Venomous, I am not familiar with the bounty hunter Executor counter to Leviathan. I'm not familiar with it. So I don't know what is actually required and what makes that reliable. My immediate initial impression is no. You're about to get Leviathan yourself. Sure, it's not going to be 7 stars. Do you deal with a lot of 7-star levies? Dark side is the right side. You're planning on JMK or Leia, to be honest. Ah. Well, I mean, you said Jedi Knight Luke and then either Starkiller or Jabba. But that's okay. Slave 1 as the first reinforcement is the trick. Slave 1 as the first reinforcement. What's this? Is it a triple attacker starting lineup? I've never tried this counter. RNG battles against Leviathans. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, like, you've got Inquisitors. I would be more inclined to just use this. Like, you have everything you need for the Chimera counter. So why not just use Chimera? Like, that's far more reliable. In my experience, anyway. Well, I say in my experience. Let's actually check out what does SWGoH have to say about counters. And, like, I'm assuming, because, like, the Chimera counter is very, very reliable. So let's go Leviathan. Let's do a standard starting lineup. And then let's go Chimera with the standard starting lineup. Yeah, it's about 78% win ratio. 78% win ratio with the standard setup over there. with Chimera. And then Executor then. What is it? A triple attacker, you're saying? Triple attacker, Executor. Like 46%. So, long answer short, no. Don't invest in bounty hunters, just use this. Use this. Yeah, so instead of investing relics there, just take Iden up to relic 5. Job done. That's all you need. Yeah, like everything else is totally fine. Just take Iden up to relic 5. That's better than taking several bounty hunters up. Like, it's better than R9ing IG2K, for example. You know? So, that's it. Like, if that's a real, genuine concern of yours, then absolutely, just use the Chimera counter. It's pretty reliable. It's pretty reliable. Things can go wrong, of course, and you have to learn how to balance the nuance of the battle, depending on how the battle's flowing, but generally speaking, might not be the cleanest, but it works. It works. It's okay, they're clean. Yeah, that's a better investment for you. After that, you said you wanted to go for Jedi Knight Luke and maybe into Starkiller or Jabba. I would try to focus on GLs. Focus on the GLs, unless you feel like you need a break from a GL grind. So, any last questions then, Venomous, my friend? Good modding, by the way. Good modding. I like your modding. That's all, thanks. Okay, good business. All right, so it's going to be the last roster review of the evening. Last roster review of the evening, because I am a tired boy. I'm a tired boy, and it is Bezad. Bezad, are you around? Bezad. Boop, boop, boop. Hey, so how's it going, buddy? Hell yeah, brother. All right, Bezad. Yakuza 0. Is this your account? Just double checking. Double checking. Just don't roast me too hard. Just finished Thick Bow, going after Gungans and Jabber at the same time. Okay, I'm going to roast you immediately, Bezad. Why are you doing two things at once? Not sure if I should stick with Jabber or Gungans. Gotcha. Yakuza 0. Star Smasher. He's a Star Smasher. Okay, cool. This is you. So, 10.4 million of the GP. You got brand new bow, so congratulations on your brand new Mandalorian leader. Alrighty, I like to see it. We got quite a few of those GLs running. You're missing 2 at the moment. Why, oh why is one of them Jabba? When you've come so far, but you didn't get Jabba. It's fine. I'll let you off. At least the other one's Lord Vader, I guess. So. I guess if you want to go for Gungans, absolutely. Yeah? Gungans are great. Because they're going to feed into the new raid. All I would say is if you're undecided, at the very least, just farm the shards. Obviously, you're done with Tarpals. I'm sure you're not massively far away on Boss Nass. You've got about another 2.5 months, we think, before he lands. So keep that in mind for Boomadir and Phalanx. You don't necessarily need to drop the gear on them, but make sure you at least get the shards, and I wouldn't be investing any gear on the characters in the meantime, okay? So are you a Patreon of Hot Utils? Are you a patron of Hot Utils? 130 shards for Boss Nass? Okay, good. You quit almost 3 years ago and got back last year and 3 months. Ah, fair enough. Cool. Yeah, so you've got quite a lot of depth then, because you'll have the older stuff that people missed out on. You might have someone like Cam, who knows? Do you have Kiadi Mundi? Oh, you missed out on some of the Cam shards. No, okay, fine. Yep. All right. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. So, let's take a look at where you're at with the Hut Cartel then, just to get an idea. Just to get an idea. Okay, yeah. So, there's still quite a bit of ways to go here. You don't have the hot utils thing. The reason I'm asking for that is because of the SWGoH events gearing page, right? It gives you access to constantly update with your profile based on how much gear you've got on your account, and then you can systematically. I mean, I'll show it to you. Yeah. I'm sure you've probably all seen it before. I use it quite a bit, but it helps track your gearing, right? Account was somehow breached and someone deleted every mod I had. Support said, seriously, Bezad? Is that why you quit? You quit because somebody jumped into your account and deleted all your mods? That is such a crappy thing to do. That is such a crappy thing to do. So this is the SWGoH events gearing page, and what this does if you've got hot utils is you can hit this refresh button and it will look for all the gear that you require for a character, how much you've got in your account, and it'll be like, oh, can you actually gear this person up? So right now I've just put in what do I need to get Queen Amidala to R7 right now. I need no gear at all. I just need some bronzium wirings, chromium transistors, and all this sort of nonsense, right? This is what I need to take it to Relic 7 straight away. If I was to add someone like, I don't know, Ugnaught. Let's go add Ugnaught to Relic 9. It will dynamically update this. Apparently, I've got all the gear to do both of these characters. That's surprising. I'm so not R9ing Ugnaught. But what this would let you do is you could go into this, yeah, and you could just go, get rid of that. You could go over here, and you could say, okay, so I want to farm up Jabba the Hutt, but I also want to be ready for Gungans. Did I miss Jar Jar? Not Rey. Damn it. Jar Jar. So you could click those two, and it will tell you all the gear that you need. Now, it's showing nothing for me because I have everything. I'm awesome. It'll show you everything you need. So what you could do in that instance is you could focus on just shard farming everything and just building up the gear as it says there. Oh, I need more Mark III Carbantes. Oh, I need more of this type of Kyrotech. Oh, I need to get this level of signal data. That way, you don't need to invest in anything, so you'll be able to pivot when the Gungan event comes around, when Jar Jar comes back. You'll be able to say, oh, so I could push and get Jar Jar immediately, or I could just drop the rest of this gear on my Jabba the Hutt farm, right? You probably won't, obviously, you wouldn't actually unlock Jabba the Hutt at that time. If it gets to the point that you have all the gear for Jabba the Hutt, and you're like, I should really just invest this, then you should probably just invest it. So it's a really useful tool. It's a very useful tool to be able to plan your farms ahead. Like, you can also do things like, it's got all the legendary events. No, but not all of them. It's got most of the legendary events, but it's even got stuff like, what would it take for me to take everything in my roster to at least gear 12? And apparently, I still need no gear. There we go. There we go. So I still need another 4,700 Carbantes, for example. That's a lot of Carbantes. You know what I mean? Obviously, it'll tell me where I can efficiently get them and that sort of thing, but this will help you plan out your farms. You know what I mean? Definitely worth looking into, okay? Because you can use that to your advantage right now when it comes to your Jabba/Gungan farm. They're both valuable. I really do rate having Jabba in your account, but I also don't want people to miss out on Jar Jar and potentially be unduly punished in the upcoming raid. Raids rewards are so important. It's what lets us gear everything, really. It's what helps us get to Relic 8. It's what helps us get past the old gear crunch of Carbantes. We just saw, even with I maxbox my raid, and I still need 4,500 Carbantes, for Christ's sake, Still need lots and lots of stuff. So it's good to be able to perform well in the raid as soon as it comes around. Exactly, Bezad. You've got a level head on your shoulders, good sir. You're like, I don't like him, but it's going to benefit my account, so I'm going to do it anyway. Good on you. Good on you, you clever sausage. Very clever sausage. All right, let's just go back over here. Not sure if... Yeah, okay, so basically that gives you the best option of both worlds. Obviously, I don't want to be telling you, yeah, go ahead and spend money on hot utils. I'm not trying to... I don't get a cut. Maybe I should. I should get a cut of hot utils' income. Definitely. I'm basically pimping their stuff. That way you can have the best of both worlds. You have to make that choice when it comes to your... You'd have to make that decision of when to invest that gear. But essentially, if you're okay not investing that gear for about 2 months, then you can be prepared for either eventuality that way. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I have a feeling that CG are going to release the raid before the return of Jar Jar for like a week or two to get 1 or 2 runs of the raid in when people don't have Jar Jar so that they can create FOMO. You know? Hoard the gear and grind the stars. That's the way. I mean, that sounds almost sexual. I'm gonna hoard the gear and grind those stars. You know what I mean? So apart from that, looking at your roster, you've got a lot of good business. Ah, look at the Gungans over here. Obviously no Afra, and I can comfortably say, just ignore Afra. Don't bother pushing out for her. Trench, don't be surprised if Trench becomes a requirement for this new raid. Don't be surprised. Horde mode activated. Yeah, don't be surprised if Trench actually becomes required. If not for this raid, for the next capital ship. We don't know, but it feels like it's getting really long in the tooth for Trench. So, obviously, you've got the stars, so it's just the gear. And that's a good idea to be in. Fennec Shand not being geared up makes me a little bit sad, because I love having her kick people in the face, but let's be honest, she's kind of fallen off a little bit at this point. Yeah, like, you can comfortably skip on her for the foreseeable future. The only time I'd say be tempted to go back to her is if her Datacron comes back round, because she's awesome with the Datacron. Without it, I'm kind of meh. This makes me very sad. Is MJ still in the chat? If he is, he's going to cry. If MJ is still in the chat, he will cry. Seeing a Dark Trooper at such a low gear level will hurt his feelings. Look away, MJ. Don't look directly at it. Only gear 9. Now, I get it. Imperial Troopers have kind of fallen off in recent months. But it still makes me sad. It still makes me sad because he's awesome and we love Punchbot. Your Tuscans look a lot like mine, so I'm not going to slag them off. Zori would be an opportunity for you. Obviously, we've just told you about Horde mode activated, and you do kind of have to take that quite literal, because every single character is just, oh, it's just one more character, and it's so easy when you've got like thousands of bits of gear. You're just like, yeah, I could easily sacrifice that. Don't do it unless you want to add Zori to your Hot Utils loadout. You know, your sort of events gear page, just to see what you also need there. Again, you can worry about Bad Batch when you start pushing for Lord Vader. So just having a look through, Yeah, the rest of it seems kind of reasonable. Iden, potentially, like we said, this is really for your Chimera counter. Chimera counter to the Leviathan. Your Bad Batch slaps Relic 7 Bounty Hunters and Savage Army teams without Trey. Nice. Gotta find that use. RKP needs you to do a cover. You should Relic Dark. Oh, RKP needs to do... Yeah, what did he have? Was it Relic Arc, right? Yeah. Was that for Cubs? Alright, dude. You got any last questions, Bezad? It's a good roster, dude. It's a good roster. I like it. I like it a lot. Relic Arc for Cubs. Thought so. Why is Tuscan's name written in Chinese? Huh? They aren't. I'm confused. I am confused. So we nearly managed to hit our goal of 130. I'm still very proud of us. Thank you all so much for supporting the roster reviews today. Very, very much appreciate you, Tribe. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. One day, Bezad. One day to finish the Imperial Remnants. They're a good faction. They unfortunately, they do need a lot of investment. But, you know, Dark Trooper Moff Gideon is useful inside new Mando. I don't know if you guys are unlocking Mando, but you got new bow, so... Mandalore, I mean. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good roster, dude. Alright. Sick. That's gonna about do it for our roster reviews then, guys. It's been real. It's been real. Let's see who's around for us to raid into. 'Cause it's been real. So very real. Alrighty. Alrighty, Roo. Let's go and see. Let's go and see. Let's see. I can see that Swampgrass is live, and he's only got the one viewer, so let's pump up those numbers just a hashtag little bit. And we'll see you all tomorrow for GAC, guys. Tomorrow's GAC day. We all love a bit of GAC, even 3v3. We don't discriminate here. We still like 3v3 GAC. You know it's true. You know it's true. So make sure you join me tomorrow evening. We'll be going live with GAC as soon as the attack phase kicks off. So be there or be a rectangular thung, I guess. Any SWGoH streamers on the tubes? Nope. Don't see anybody streaming that. So let's do this. All right, guys. Peace out. Good evening. Big love. And I'll see you all tomorrow where we do some gackage. Bit of 3-on-3, baby. Let's do it. Let's do it. Peace out, guys, and big, big love.